Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bums we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North America, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that's scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.
TV.
Did we get into this Mephistophelian timeline?
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bums we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North America, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that's scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
From TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, we are back like we never left up in this bitch. You dig? As y'all can see, we got the channel back up and going. Know the Ledger 444, along with Know the Ledge Media. We up in this thing. Shout out to my Twitch family. Shout out to the Facebook family. You dig? Yeah, I'm talking about. We are here. We are outside. It is a Monday. We are in the building. You know I'm talking about? Yeah, it feels good to have them both, have everything back. You know I'm talking about? Restore. Give me my shit back. That part. You know I'm talking about? Yeah, that part. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. How y'all doing today? You know, how's everybody doing? Good evening. Happy Monday. Good to be here. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to my guy, 19 Keys. Before I even forget, man, it's the God's birthday. Shout out to all of the Tauruses out there coming from a Scorpio. Y'all know that's our opposite sign, right? That my mama's a Taurus. That's like our opposite sign, right? Like that's our opposing sign. Yeah, Scorpios and Tauruses. Very interesting. How many Tauruses do I got out there who could relate? Matter of fact, how many Scorpions do we have out there who have Taurus friends and Taurus relatives? And y'all could understand the dynamics, because there is a dynamic. But shout out to the Tauruses. Hey, Lakeisha, tell Umi I said super salute. I was editing the videos last night from the Claws event that we had in North Carolina, and I was going through a lot of the footage and getting a lot of flashbacks. I almost shed a tear. You know, it was a little choky and whatnot. You know, I kind of missed that. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of went so fast when I think about it. When I look up, it was over. So shout out to everybody who joined us. I did upload a video. Let me see if this jump. Let me see. It's on the channel. I'm gonna upload it to this channel. It's on Know the Ledge. It's a recap video, like a behind the scenes of the event that took place, and it's giving people a little peek as to what it is that we were doing and whatnot. A little behind the scenes. I haven't cut up any clips of the actual event as of yet. I just wanted to give everybody that feeling. Like, what is the feeling? How does it feel to do an event, to pop out with the brother Red Pill and family and the KT aliens? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What's the environment hitting for? So you really get to see that in the video. People are enjoying themselves. You know what I mean? They at the shooting range. They riding the ATVs. People are in their tents and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? We teaching outside near the water. Man, it's just a beautiful feeling. The video will be up as soon as I finish this tonight. I'm gonna upload it. It's about 30 minutes, you know. Y'all go and check that out. Okay, so you got 2 Taurus. Oh, the 10-year-old is born the same day as Mama Pill. Yeah, man. Shout out to them Tauruses. Yeah, them bull horns. Yeah, them bull bang bang Taurus gang. Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay, so they compliment you. Okay, that's a compatible sign. Right. Yeah. Shout out to, well, I'm very compatible with the Tauruses. You know, me and Mama Pill, gang right there. You know I'm talking about? Gang, you know? Did I miss the scientist discussion? What scientist discussion is that? I don't know what you let me know. As a Scorpio, I'll be attracting all the Taurus goddesses. They low key my favorite. Okay, okay. Wait a minute. Wait, let me see. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, damn. Yikes. I just remembered that I missed somebody's birthday. Oh Lord. Oh man, I just now thinking about it. Cause in my mind, I'm like, did I ever rock with a Taurus like that? And then boom, of course I did. Yikes. Ah man. I gotta call 1-800-Flowers and make I gotta make a special delivery. You know what I'm talking about? Oh Lord. Man, I hate when I miss birthdays. I hate when I miss birth. That could be beef. You know what I'm talking about? That could turn into like, you know what I'm saying? That could turn into secret enemies and shit. You gotta be careful with the Tauruses. They'll come and get you. You know, they'll come and get you. Both of my parents and my son are Tauruses. All birthdays within 1 week. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So let's go and do the roll call. Boy, oh boy, there's some things that we're gonna be talking about tonight. I'm gonna keep it. There's some shit going on. I'm gonna try my best to keep everything directed and whatnot. I really want to go down the scientific rabbit hole on sacrilegious. I didn't do sacrilegious Sunday. Did I do sacrilegious Sunday? No, I did sacrilegious Sunday. On sacrilegious Sunday, I was gonna get into it, but we were like 2.5 hours into the program. So I did say that we will pick it up and whatnot, and we'll go ahead and deal with it tonight. You smell me? But so tonight on Melanin Monday, when the melanin is popping, we're gonna talk some good. We're gonna talk some things. Have you read Elijah's Fall of America? To be honest with you, that was like my starter pack. Autobiography of Malcolm X, Fall of America by Elijah, uh, ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, and Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. Was that Amos? Yeah. But yeah, those were the books that I started out with. Some of them. Yeah, that's how I started out. So I was Eat to Live. I was being I was programmed. I got the program early in the game. I got the program early in the game. You smell me? And I was able to I was able to receive the wisdom of our good brother. You know what I mean? I was able to receive the wisdom of the good brother. You smell me? And it was good for my foundation. Elijah Muhammad is a genius. He's like a prophet. He's like a prophet. So shout out to the Capricorn. Yeah, shout out to Charleston. Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to the south side of H-Town. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay, Soul on Ice. Yeah. I read Soul on Ice. I read what's the one that George Jackson wrote? Blood in My Eyes, I believe, when we was trying to get on our militant. Because I started out with the militant stuff. I don't know how everybody started their journey out, but I just to walk y'all through the just to kind of walk y'all through the process and whatnot, how my waking up took place. These things should be in a movie. These are like these are it's I mean, I just hope that we have a Ryan Coogler in the audience who's gonna go out there and put together a monumental cinematic depiction of a black woman and man waking up in Babylon, you know what I mean? And just make it very artistic. Soledad brother. But when I my earlier days, we was really on militancy. We're talking like late 90s and whatnot. We was on militancy. I woke up to metaphysics and occultism, like I've said before, around 9/11. You feel me? And it was a shift where I went out of conspiracy into what they call higher forms of consciousness. Um, the earlier days of conspiracy consisted of David Icke. It consisted of some of the David Icke, the Caucasians and whatnot. Zachariah Sitchin, big ass books. You feel me? Um, and I wasn't necessarily impervious to what I was receiving, but there was always like an antenna going up that was somewhat repelling the information. It was like, I don't know about this. Jordan Maxwell, yeah, Jordan Maxwell. And then the one that blew my mind was William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse. That's what got me. Gastonia is in the house. Dr. Amos Wilson, Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. So if y'all haven't gotten to Amos Wilson, if you have not gotten into Amos Wilson, and you're one of those thinkers or you're one of those intellects, you respect intellectualism from a melanated teacher and whatnot, like non-emotional, very monotone, but he's giving you straight facts, like how a professor would. You are going to really enjoy Dr. Amos Wilson's catalog. He is a certified scholar. He was definitely at the top of the charts when I was coming up. Let's say 2002, 3. Like we was listening to cassettes and shit like that, and VHSs and whatnot. Dr. Amos Wilson, Naeem Akbar. He's a psychiatrist. He was a beast with it. Naeem Akbar, Del Jones, Steve Coakley. You feel me? This is pre-internet age. This is pre-internet. These were the ones who were really cooking pre-internet. You got to throw Brother Daoud in there, because Daoud to me was like a Phil Valentine before Phil Valentine. Daoud used to curse. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but back then the teachers did not curse like that. Bobby and Phil came with the potty mouths, and they kind of like they were the newer generation, as crazy as that sounds, because you look at them as elders now, but they were coming on the tail ends of the quote unquote Dr. Ben and the Chancellor Williams era and all of that. SETI comes after them. SETI comes after Bobby and Phil. But the real potty mouth, the one who was really turning up, was Brother Daoud. Like when he was a flamethrower, not just using profanity. He used it in a very in the way that he used it, he was a flamethrower. He was like a Khalid Muhammad energy, that type of fire and whatnot. You dig? He was very, very fiery. 813, we got Boston, we got Tampa, we got Greenville, we got Massachusetts, we got Screwston, Texas. Yo, Screwston, we got the event of the year coming up. Talk black to me. What's up? Y'all ready to pop out? You know what I'm talking about? Y'all ready to pop out? May, I'm just putting it out there right now. May might be my most busiest month of this whole entire year. My entire month is completely packed up with events. We're not playing. We told y'all that we was finna be outside. Standing on that. We are standing on that. I promise you. This month is gonna be super lit. It's turned, and I'm pushing myself. I'm putting myself out there because it's just time. It's time. I gotta move around and I gotta teach. You know what I mean? I gotta get this information out. I gotta get in front of the people over the shoulder teaching. I gotta get in these boot camps. It's work to be done. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in a lab for like 5 months straight, 6 months locked in on some hibernation. And now it's time to pop out. It's definitely time. Naptown in the building, Port St. Lucie in the building, Philly in the building. We coming to see y'all. Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys by Jawanza Kunjufu, right? Those are the books that should be turned into documentaries and miniseries. How many of y'all saw the Nature Boy on Hulu? I did not see that, for the record. Pause. I did not see it, but I will watch it. Detroit in the building, South Carolina in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Soul Dad. What do I think of when rocks cry out? We actually had Horace Butler on Know the Ledge Radio. When he came on our show, it was a humongous event. Shook the whole internet. Horace Butler is a very polarizing figure. He is he's one of the, people give Dane Calloway and a lot of people credit, but Hakeem Bey, Umar, not Umar Johnson. There's another man named Umar who came out with the map to show where all of the where the mounds and where the pyramids were. He came on our show. Umar, I don't know if is it Umar Muhammad, but it was a brother named Umar, right? He set it off. Hakeem Bey set it off, but definitely when rocks cry out, that set it off. There was no sign of none of these younger brothers that we see. They were not around. He was the one who dropped that shit and shook the whole game up when everybody was on Kemet super hard Kemetic. Like they was dying for Kemet. They was killing for Kemet. You know what I'm talking about? And he came with that America's Kemet shit and basically shook the game up. And he people was trying to bang on him and everything, and then he kind of disappeared. But he dropped that book, and that shit started the rumbling and whatnot. Asir, of course, and a few other people, they were standing on it before as well. Let me give him his credit where it's due. He was standing on that. There's a few people that were standing 10 toes, and they started that conversation. You know what I'm talking about? They started that. That's their conversation. And the brothers that came afterwards, they picked up on that conversation and they continued to carry it and whatnot. And they came with their documents and their research, and they continued and they carried it as others should. This is how it works. Each one teach one, right? Bill Cooper was a beast. Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, yes, part of the starter pack. Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, part of the starter pack. Yes, we started out with that. You know what I'm saying? These are like literally, if you want to indoctrinate the young ones with some pride and some foundation and whatnot, I'm not going to tell you to go the route that we went, because the route that we went, we're in a new day and time. There may be I don't know. It's crazy, because I wouldn't say watch a documentary like a Hidden Colors and don't read the books. You're gonna get more from the books. You know what I mean? Like the documentaries is definitely, you got it. That's an additive. You need the documentaries. Yes, do the documentaries, but read the books. Read to the children. I mean, I would read to the little ones. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they might not want to read it. Get the audio book. But Behold a Pale Horse is timeless. If you read it right now, if you go back and reread it, the book is gonna read you. You know what I'm saying? Bill Cooper, man, he was one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the ones. They did him dirty, but he was on it. You know what I'm talking about? He was on it. David Icke with Credo Mutua, right? Whenever you could find a David Icke with Credo Mutua, the shaman out of South Africa, definitely a must watch. I remember when Credo Mutua dropped in our neighborhood, when Credo Mutua dropped on black people, man, it was up. It was up. We was like, wait, what? What did he just say? Like when he started talking about the fact, man, he had us going. Credo Mutua? Oh yeah, he had us going. We was on our alien shit, hard body with Credo. We was on he turned us into aliens. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, let's say these names. Asa Hilliard, right? Asa G. Hilliard. We got Bobby, of course. We got Chancellor Williams, J.A. Rogers. That's another recommended reading. Sex and Race, from what the Superman books from J.A. Rogers. Uh, I believe it's Sex and Race, Volume 1 and 2. Anything Dr. Africa wrote, right? All of the Dr. Africa books, he was going all the way in. One of my Bibles that I stand on that completely shifted my mind is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Medu Netter. Okay. I had that in the pokey. Blue brought me that on a visiting floor, and it changed everything. I was locked in until I read that thing from front to back. And it changed me, bro. If y'all have anybody this in behind the wall in the belly of the beast, you know what I'm talking about, and they could receive books and whatnot. Nature knows no color lines. If you have anybody that's behind the wall, please send them a stack of books. You just send them these, because literally these books inside of the joint right now is like gold. I promise you, gold. Them brothers is in there trying to get their minds right. And them sisters too. They trying to get their mind, they getting their minds right. They reading and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? They are literally reading. Trust me when I tell you. Myrtle Beach in the building, Pittsburgh in the building, Boston in the building, 804 in the building, 617. We got Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio up in this thing, Iowa, BK. Whatever happened, Daoud made transition in like 2023. I remember seeing him in Harlem one last time, and he was like, yeah, niggas, COVID don't, you know what I mean? COVID don't got shit on me. You know what I'm saying? He was up, he was feeling good, he looked healthy, he was happy. You know what I'm talking about? No, 2021. I'm sorry. It was like 2021. I was in Harlem. I saw him on 125th Street for the last time, and then he made transition. Azazel, aka Azariah, same story. You know, I saw him the last time I saw him. You know, he was happy, he was chilling. You know what I mean? You know, Chirac in the building, Nashville in the building, Jamaica in the building. Do I ever talk about Simeon Toko? Yeah, I talk about Simeon Toko. We actually had our good brother Kaba Kameni, and he came on a show about a year ago, and we did a show called Super Sapiens, and he was giving all of the information about Simeon Toko. We had our good brother Uncle Hank on the show a few years ago, and he was talking about Simeon Toko. We had Ross Ben on the show a few years ago, and he was talking about Simeon Toko on Blog Talk Radio, going way, way, way back. We were talking about Simeon and whatnot. I'm actually doing an animated clip. I'm actually doing something AI generated for the good brother, and this is before the David Wilcox shit. You know what I'm talking about? This is way before that. Chirac, Nashville. They came before Columbus, Ivan Van Sertima, Golden Age of the Moors, Ivan Van Sertima, the Stanley Lane Poole and whatnot. All of the books that Stanley Lane Poole wrote about the Moors, all of that is required reading. You know, all of that is required reading. Los Angeles in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Bill Donahue, Dr. Bobby E. Wright, Dr. Richard King, Dr. Ann Brown. Was that an episode on Donahue, you saying? Where he had the legends up there? Man. You had Jewel Pookrum. You had Sister Suzar, right? These are legends. Laela Africa. Okay. Just for the fact that if y'all have not, you know, I'm not assuming that everybody knows these names. These are pre-internet people. These are the pre-internets who came out when, you know, it was like the DVD, the VHS days. They are like the first string of certain type of research. Okay. And then it got a little sensationalized. I don't know if it was considered sensationalized back then because I was a very young man, and I don't know. You would have to ask the elders and whatnot. You dig? Portland in the building. Yes, and of course, Dr. York, I read the Holy Tabernacle, and that blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? That I read the Holy Tabernacle, and that blew my mind. It was like the Holy Tabernacle is like the size of a Bible, big ass green book and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I read that from front to back. You know, the kids can't read. Yeah, you got to read to them and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to read to them. Yeah, audio books for their asses, right? You know what I'm talking about? Audio books. You know what I'm talking about? Or a fucking app. You know what I mean? You have to have an app for them because they having problems with the words. Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Sex and Race, Rudolph Windsor, Babylon to Timbuktu. That is a super classic. Yes, all of Black Dot's books. I remember what Black Dot book did for me. The book about hip hop. We Be Roaches. Hip Hop Decoded. That's his magnus opus and whatnot. Uh that was a man. That one did it for me. That one put me right where I needed to be. Ancient and Modern Brits, Volume 1 and 2. Ancient and Modern Brits, Volume 1 and 2, the yellow cover. I remember Saber and all of them used to talk about that. I went to Philadelphia and picked up a book. I read that all the way home. Barashango, right? Legend. Dr. Henry Clark, legend. Nature Knows No Color Line, legend. France Fanon, yes. From Niggas to Gods. Remember that? From Niggas to Gods. So all of these books can be interpreted into some type of visual component. You feel me? It's so many that we talk. You don't got to turn a whole book. You know what they do? They adapt. When they adapt books, they take a chapter of a book and they adapt it into a screenplay. Right now, you could literally do that with AI. Okay. You literally could do that with AI, especially if you have your AI hooked up and it's more like a personal AI. You literally, if you got an AI that doesn't go into the cloud, it lives on your computer, is localized, I would suggest you get that. If you don't know how to do that, you tap in with us and we'll show you how to make it local and whatnot. I'm with using the AI that you don't need no internet connection. It's not dealing with servers. It's local. You know what local means? It lives on your computer. So it's not a part of the data centers. It's not eating up water and shit like that. It's not going into the servers of OpenAI and all of these conglomerates. It's your shit, open source. That's the type of AI that I use because the questions that I'm asking the AI, yeah, I don't want Sam Altman and these niggas to read that. Okay. I don't want I don't want Donald Trump and them to be reading my tweets, you know what I mean, or my prompts, you know? I don't want that. You know? They came before Columbus. They came before Columbus. We got Thailand in the building. The last time I seen Liela Africa was at a lecture, him and his beautiful wife, and we hugged it up. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Dr. Africa. And the thing with Dr. Africa is that I had to, you know what I mean? I don't think he was feeling me at first. I had to win him over, you know what I mean? Because Dr. Africa, he wasn't for everybody, you know what I mean? He wasn't one of those people that was showing his teeth to everybody. You had to impress that man. And rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I respect the elders who make you know what I mean? Like he is a textbook old school master teacher. The old school master teachers, you had to prove yourself to these man. You just couldn't pop up in front of them and you got an onk on and they all happy go lucky and whatnot. He was like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm talking about? Like Dr. Africa had me really looking at myself like, damn, I thought I was lit. You know, he came on our show and he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on eggshells, but we persevered and everything worked out. And Yeah, that was my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? That was my guy, yo. He was hella funny. You know what I mean? Super duper funny. He had deadpan humor, and he was just full of life, you know? Full of life, you know what I'm saying? So salute to the God, you know. Oh man, C. Freemanell. Man, the legend. C. Freemanell is if you never heard Dr. C. Freemanell, if you never got C. Freemanell, that's Bobby Hemmitt's teacher out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't been introduced to him, you could do yourself a grand favor and go and look him up on YouTube. Go down that rabbit hole because his teaching and the way that he taught, very studious. He's from the old school as well. Scholastic. They stand on scholars. They stand on scholarship. Anthony Browder, yes, out of DC, scholar. You feel me? The science of Superman. Yeah, man. Message to the black man. Dr. Delbert Blair. Everything from Dr. Delbert Blair is a must listen to. You know what I'm saying? The Woman and Man series, the Seven African Powers. You know what I mean? All of the books from Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben was writing Bibles. Make a 26 book list. Oh, yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. I'll definitely put that together. For shit show. I mean, matter of fact, I gotta get my books. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. France Fanon. I remember when I read that, I was getting militant reading that too. Like all of these books that I was naming, these are literally like, we was reading these books coming up these were the books. Remember, we had to go to the library and steal shit sometimes. A little up the back, you know what I'm talking about? Or you could sit there and read it, the Powernomics. Yeah. The Powernomics, the secret relationships between blacks and you know who. Oh man, remember the Shahrazad Ali books? You go to a shorty crib and she got the Shahrazad Ali on the table. I'm like, that's a keeper. You know what I'm talking about? Automatic 20 points. You know what I mean? Or I might wash the dishes for you. Automatic 20 points. You're gonna get your feet rubbed because I know that there's some type of programming taking place. She getting you right. You know what I mean? She gonna get you right. You know what I mean? So I seen her live a few times. I seen Dr. Shahrazad Ali live a few times. Like her energy in person is crazy. Copper Moon, what's poppin'? I was coming to look for you in the Netherverse. How's everything going, beloved? Yes. Yeah, they had us on ice for like a week and whatnot. They had us on punishment. We was over there on the other side of YouTube on Know the Ledge Media doing our thing. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for that. You know what I mean? Everybody that supported us over on Know the Ledge Media. We was holding it down, keeping the flame, keeping the torch lit, keeping the torch lit. They was mad because of an episode that I did with Brother Heru, where we were talking about health of all things, right? The audacity of us to talk about health on Liar Cohen's YouTube and whatnot. And we wasn't even talking crazy. We was just talking about results. Think about that. Like, let that marinate. We was thinking about results. We were talking about results. We had people on the show that was talking about how they reversed their sicknesses, like callers calling in. Yeah, I beat diabetes. I beat this. I beat that. Brain cancer. So apparently they don't like that. But I could get on here and I could sit with Vlad. I could sit with Adam Adam 12. I could sit with Capone News. I could sit with Real Life Productions. I could sit with all of these Say Cheese, and I could talk about nothing but pure murder of my people. I could talk about nothing but pure bodies and whatnot. How many bodies did you catch? Oh, let me tell you, it'll be a 20-part series. They clipping that shit. They chopping it up. I could talk about all of that. putting people in the ground and all of that. All type of fuckery they talk about nonstop. But the minute I talk about somebody who helped to heal another human being and whatnot, they hit me with a strike. They hit me with a strike and slam my appeal. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's why we'll put our Patreon up. And like I said, we come through to y'all already know it. You don't even need me to start getting on this YouTube shit. You know what it is. This is a public space. This is like being in a public arena. This is literally like being on a train, public transportation. You feel me? So whatever you talk about, you just be mindful that you're in the public. There are other places that you go in private where you have private conversations about things that you know ain't flying in the public. So they're letting us know in the public, you can't talk about black people healing. They don't want to hear that shit. That is a no-go, So just know the environment that you're in. Just know. Sometimes we be forgetting, and they remind me every now and then, like 11:11. We got some major hard-hitting scholars, right? Said Mac Heru Hutch. You are so accurate with that statement. That is something that I don't think our people have come to full realization of. You dig? Because the conversations about negativity carry on longer and further than the conversations about our legends and whatnot. And to be honest with you, I honor the legends. When I speak on the legends, I don't speak about, because some people that speak on the elders, and they'll speak on them in a way that it sounds like they're like, that like either they're talking down or they're making it seem like a pity party. Hell fucking no. The legends, the master teachers who came and left us, they did their job. They're legends in their own right. They did a great effing job. Keep in mind, when they were writing books, you could come up missing for writing books. When they were writing books, you know what I mean? You could get Mumia Abu Jamal for writing a book talking about these people to their faces and whatnot. It was fresh off of Jim Crow civil right, niggas getting dog sicked on them and whatnot. So you know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like in the 1930s, Noble Drew Ali, even I don't give a fuck what nobody say about Marcus Mosiah Garvey. You could miss me with all of that. You know what I'm talking about? You could miss me with all of that. You know what I mean? You had Garvey, you had Noble Drew Ali, you had Elijah, and a whole bunch of other people. The fuck? And they were standing on shit. Elijah was calling these people devils. The fuck you mean? Nigga, what? Nigga, what? Nigga, who? Nah, that was groundbreaking. Go ask your grandparents, nigga. They were scared. The fuck? Niggas was shook. They was so scared that they was mad at Elijah for calling the white man a devil. Oh man, you gonna get us hurt. You gonna get us hurt. Nigga, what? The fuck? Y'all better put some respect on these people's names. Motherfuckers be coming out of places, don't got one revolutionary in your whole fucking city or town, and y'all get on the internet and try to bash people who stood on business. The fuck is going on? Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That's super crazy to me. These men were saying that shit. All black people knew who these people were, but these men were standing on podiums. They were standing on stages with their heads high, looking sharp while doing it. They didn't look tattered. They didn't look hungry. They didn't look poverty stricken. They was clean. The fuck? They was clean. in today's standards and the standards of back in those days. They was cleaner than a whistle, looking sharp, fearless. You could see it in their eyes. They ain't look like no punks. They wasn't getting wailed. You don't see no pictures of them getting beat up and dogs sicked on them. You don't see them getting victimized and whatnot. The niggas that was trying to play patty cake was getting wild up. The ones that was trying to play patty cake, the ones that was trying to play, these niggas was playing house with the devil. They was getting wild up. You don't see our people getting wild up who was standing on business. Hello? They don't got pictures of that. So what does that tell you? Because if they was lying, you know what I'm talking about? If they was out of line, they would have got washed up. You know what I'm talking about? The European was pulling niggas out their cars and hanging them. So why they didn't do that to the nation? Why they didn't do that to the FOI? Why they didn't do that to the MSTA? Yeah, you know, there's situations where people definitely came up unalived. You know, there's like mysteries and shit. Like Noble Drew Ali had a toothache, and then next thing you know, he's gone. Booker T got bodied on a train. They poisoned him and killed him on a train on the way to Tuskegee. You know, shit happened to our people, but it wasn't happening like that. You know, it wasn't happening. They wasn't playing. Like, let's really get it straight. They look well fed. They look well fed. Skin was shining. They had the finest threads on, bespoke. Niggas had the bespoke on. What are we talking about? Yeah, they were standing on BI. Yeah, Father Divine and all of that. Like, what are we doing? Pascal Beverly Randolph going up against high-level wizards and warlocks and shit like that. Like, what? Huh? Dragging them. Minx dragging and shit. What do we mean? They pulling up in a Model T. Like, huh? What? Stop it. You know? And fast forward, then we got Nature Boy. You know, look at the disparity. Look at where it wound up. No disrespect, because I'm sure that there was a Nature Boy back then. I'm sure that spirit existed all the way back then. That's not a new thing. That should be jumping through generations. You know, that's not a new thing. That's not a new you know, that ain't a new type of situation. Niggas been starting cults forever. They got niggas starting cults right. If you look on the internet, there's niggas just doing cults right now. They try to say that because we was going to Stone Mountain that we was a cult. Come on, Five. Nigga, cult what? I'm a part of the culture and I fuck with the occult. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't got the patience to have a cult. I'm just letting you know right now. I don't got the patience. I got a short, you know what I mean? My motherfucking, I'm a ticking time bomb. I cannot have no cult. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? That's for people with patience. You know, putting up with all them people. I don't got it. I don't have the time. You know, I got too much shit going on in my life to be doing a fucking cult. Yeah, Dr. Sabi's books. Okay. You know, Dr. Shaby's book, Pride and Lust is what destroyed Carbonation. I didn't watch the documentary, so I don't, you know, I can't tell you what destroyed it. I know that I met Nature Boy before he was Nature Boy, though. You know, I met him before he was a Nature Boy, you know, and he was very humble. He came on 125th Street in you remember it gets dark remember back in the days, like in the wintertime, daylight savings, like 5 o'clock, it'd be dark, right? Like on December. I remember he popped out on one of those days. It was like dark and shit. Sinetta had went home and packed up because Sinetta would go home the minute the sun went down. And he went out, he came and pulled up. He had his children, he had his sons with him. He was wearing like bifocals. This is how far back this shit go. He was wearing like bifocals and whatnot. This nigga had like a blowout, no shape up, nothing. He had on bifocals. He was very awkward. And he was looking for Sonetta because, you know, a lot of people used to come on 125th Street and look for Sonetta. And after talking to him for about 15, 20 minutes, I was like, okay, you know, he's one of them, you know what I mean? Neurodivergence, or I don't know. I just knew that something was off with him. Not to say that neurodivergent is off. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I don't know what it is that what it was. Maybe schizophrenia. Uh but he was a little off, but it didn't necessarily, because to be honest with you, 60% of the people who came on 125, well, 40% was off and 60% was on. So I would remember, I'm standing on 25th, you feel me? 1,000 people go by me every day. No, 1,000 people walk by me every hour. I'm sorry. 100,000 people will literally walk past you in the span of a few days. 100,000. Dead ass. That's how much foot traffic goes up and down 25th from river to river. So of the 100,000, I would say that 1,000 plus people would stop and talk to us damn near every day. So we was attracting all type of people from all type of walks of life, from all type of spectrums, from every part of the spectrum, from the furthest spectrum all the way down to where I'm like, oh, that's twin right there. That nigga think just like me, you know? So when he popped up and we was chopping it up, it didn't necessarily kind of like throw me off, because I'm just like, son is you know, he's just a fan, you know what I mean? He's like, I want to get on, I want to get on the couch. I'm looking for Sonetta. I brought my sons with me. I got a barbershop in Atlanta. And we was talking and everything. And he brought up young Pharaoh's name, but back then we didn't even meet Pharaoh yet. I knew about him because he was getting a little bit of buzz and everything. Fast forward, maybe 3 months later, this nigga, I turn on the TV, I turn on my phone one day, he's sitting on the couch at Sonetta's house with Pharaoh. Now, I don't know. I asked somebody who said that they saw the documentary. I said, did they get the story straight that the nigga started his career on Sonetta's couch? And they was like, no, they didn't put that in there. Then I remembered another time where they had got locked up in Mexico, and they had got kicked off the plane. They, you know, they had like an odor and whatnot, and the whole facade of, you know, we gonna be living in the woods, that shit was falling apart. And it was basically, you know, I've seen things like this come and go before, because you'll have people with little runs and whatnot, but it's like they can't sustain themselves because they're not standing in their truth, or they're not standing on, quote unquote, you know, they're not standing on real business. You know what I mean? They're like, you know, they come pump faking. So it was almost like, okay, this chapter is closing. All right, it's the end of the soap opera. Okay, guys, hang it up, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. The nigga was a little, when he was doing the first shit where they was wearing leaves and whatnot, and living in the woods and shit like that, it was kind of sticky. It was kind, you know what I mean? That was like, oh shit, we got ourselves ratchet television on some conscious shit. That was literally like the first time. No, I take that back. King Noble comes before Nature Boy. Now nobody talks about that. King Noble, Black Supremacy, he preceded Nature Boy. He was the first one that was taking shorties out in the woods. And King Noble was also the first one with the conscious OnlyFans. Talk black to me. Y'all remember that? Y'all came in too late. Y'all don't be knowing. Yeah. 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 He set the motherfucking trend And this nigga's nature boy said, "Oh nah, hold my CMOS." He was like, "Wait, hold my beer. I'ma outdo this nigga." You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He was like, "Y'all not wearing leaves in the forest. Y'all fully clothed. Yeah, hold my CMOS. Let me do this. We gonna put leaves on." He had shorty with the leaves on her boobs, yo. Dead ass. So niggas was watching. They was like, "What is this? This is different. This is coming out of the doth. This is coming out of the clip off. You know what I mean? This is the dark side of the tree. You know, this is the dark side of the tree of life. This is the tree of death." That's what they were seeing. The tree of death popped up. You know what I'm talking about? And you know, people like watching car crashes. They like to bottleneck, and that's what they was doing. But King Noble preceded the quote unquote nature boy in Carbon Nation. King Noble was putting shorties in porn. King Noble had them in the woods and whatnot. He was the one standing on. And to be honest with you, his doctrine, all bite, it had holes in it. His doctrine was kind of strong. You know, his doctrine was kind of strong back then. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't like I think he's out of Chicago. It wasn't like the doctrine was completely fugazi to where people was just like, "Man, get that shit out of here." You know what I mean? He was attracting a lot of people who was looking for whatever the fuck they found. But he precedes Nature Boy. I was about to say Soldier Boy. You know? And then he gets kicked. So Nature Boy and them gets kicked off the plane. And where did they wind up on? Sanetta's couch again. And what did that mean? That gave him a new lease on life. That was his second run. Because Sanetta's couch was almost like it's like a Tesla charging station. You know what I'm talking about? You could catch flats and you know what I mean? Your shit'll be on hubcaps. But if they could get you to Sanetta's couch, nigga, your ass had a second lease on life. Dead ass. That was like a Tesla charging station. You know what I'm talking about? Because think about it. Sanetta's doing 40,000, 50,000, 30,000 views and whatnot. There's somebody in the audience that's like, "Yo, I want to live in the woods with this nigga." You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? It was the ratio. It was like the average viewer is gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" But then he was getting, there's 40,000 people watching it. There's 40,000. His lives will have thousands of people in real time. So obviously, if you get 1% of those people who like, I'm gonna call this 1-800 number, 1-800 Nature Boy. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what they did. That's how he read up. He was reeing up. He reeing up off the couch. I'm just giving you the facts as I seen it. I'm not starting no trouble. Shout out to Sanetta. That's the big homie. You know. But the truth is the truth. You know what I'm talking about? The truth is the truth. And it's enough people who remember that shit. I ain't capping. You know I ain't capping. So he brings the nigga on the couch. I don't know why. No, he's not on the couch. He interviewed him and the nigga was in the house. It's the first time we ever saw Nature Boy in the house. You know what I'm talking about? I remember that. It didn't even look right. It was like, wait, is he inside of four walls? Nah, let me refresh the page. This don't even look right. Why does he have clothes on? You know what I'm talking about? That's how crazy this shit was. You know what I mean? To see my nigga in an Airbnb, it didn't even look right. We was like, get your ass back outside. And they got shorties out there. They even Boise, Idaho, or they was living in whatever fucking towns y'all be saying in the roll call. But they was like, you know what? This shit at Walmart is not cutting it for me. You know what I'm talking about? This little Piggly Wiggly position, I'm finna give this shit up and go take my ass to the woods. because we are going to get our reparations. We are going to be sovereign, and we are going to annex Mexico. That I think that was the plan, to annex Mexico. And niggas was like, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know, I'm with it. And they start signing up. And that happened like 3 more times. Dead ass. That happened like 3 more times. You know what I'm saying? The shit would fall apart, then he would pop up and it would get revived again. Then he'll pop up with a new name or some shit. The last time I seen him, he was the 3 God. You know? He was the 3 God. And niggas was feeding him grapes. Yeah. I saw that. And he had a nigga lick his toe. Yeah, I saw that too. You know what I'm talking about? Didn't he have wives and husbands? Listen. They used to go at it, but they was homies at first. I don't know if y'all knew that. They was literally homies. They sat on the couch together at first. That their debut was together. Both of their debuts on homie's couch, it was both of them together. And yeah. The beef was hilarious. Yeah. Oh man. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And now it's on Hulu. And you know who going crazy? Oh my goodness. The 85ers are eating this shit. This is like a smorgasbord for the knuckle draggers. Oh, they loving this shit. I did a little Google search. Oh, they loving this. Oh Lord. Oh, the 85ers is loving this. They eating this up. They are eating this up. Everybody that had a gripe against the conscious community, oh, they loving this. They making their thought pieces as I speak, my nigga. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. They loving it. You know? You said Caligula vibes. I mean, it was just, you know what? It was literally like TV. It just came into it was like a bad reality show. You know, who am I to judge? You know, it was a crazy reality show, and that gave birth to a certain part of YouTube, a certain corridor of YouTube, a certain segment of YouTube, a certain pocket of YouTube. Right? Did it not? Didn't it gave birth to a certain pocket of YouTube, you know? And after that, it was like, you know, shit just started mushrooming, and we got all of these new teachers and different people, and they all kind of follow the same, they all kind of have similar DNA, if you understand what I'm saying. Like they all kind of have, there's all the, you know what I mean? Like there's all, they all have a certain kind of throughway, you know? Think about that. I could spot them from a mile away now, you know? I could spot them from a mile away. You know what I'm talking about? They all have like the similar phenotypes, you know? If a nigga take his shirt off, yeah, he's one of them. It's the shirt off niggas. Let's just say that. It's all the shirt off niggas. Let me see. Let me go through my catalog and see if I ever had my shirt off. But all of the shirt off niggas with the tattoos, yeah, you gotta be careful about those. You gotta beware of those. I mean, pay attention. You know what I'm talking about? Just pay attention. You know? Just pay attention. You know? Oh, Blue be having his shirt off. Ah! Nah. Blue be working out. I'm talking about the shirts off and they not doing push-ups. They going live with the shirt off. You know who started that first? You know what I'm talking about? That was for the single ladies. Yeah, that's for the single ladies and the aunties. Yeah. Don't let Charleston White have to say it. Yeah. From the back, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? That, yeah. Yeah, they was going after all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Put your hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, YN consciousness. Yeah, y'all was there for that. You know the aunties was there for that, right? Dead ass. No, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. You know? Look, while you continue with sheer blasphemy against the brethren, his knowledge still shines. You caught in the net of the messengers. Where is your heart at, Stone Love? Is that you? That is son, is that you? You on a burner phone or something? This is your Finsta? Is that you, son? Yeah. My nigga said his work is still black. I'm just telling it, I'm just calling it how I seen it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just calling it how I see it. You know? I'm not sitting up in here throwing rocks at nobody. I can't listen. Niggas got boulders coming at them. Believe you me. I'm just here telling you what it is. Like, believe you me. That's not my MO. I don't sit on the internet and kick people when they down and whatnot. But I know in the past 10 years, it's just been a lot of motherfuckers that have been following whatever that Pied Piper flute was, and they all falling off the cliff. Niggas be jumping off the cliff these days. You know what I'm talking about? You said, well, right? My nigga behind the Kroger's charging his phone up, typing this at the same time. He over, you know, at Walmart, they got that little thing where you put the they got the little side thing where you put the carts at, and they got the plug and shit. Niggas be charging up their phone. Yeah, Philly is over there typing, while you continue with sheer blasphemy against the brethren. Yeah, charge your phone up, my friend. Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, charge your phone up. Get that free Wi-Fi. You know? Oh, it's a blood moon in Massachusetts? That's what's up. That's what's up. You know? I'm gonna have to go outside and look at the moon and whatnot. But somebody mentioned escapism, right? Somebody mentioned escapism. I see a lot of that. You know, I would say to anybody that saw the train wreck, not just of his train wreck, all of them. It's a t-shirt of these niggas, and I don't want to be the one to call out the names, but it's a whole fucking t-shirt full of niggas, and all of that, you know, that the escapism talk about, you know, you going on the spaceships and all of this, you know what I mean? We're gonna take over the government, you know what I mean? All of that. That should literally raise red flags from anybody at this point in the game. Like, you should be able to discern. Remember that word, discernment? You should be able to discern because you have so many examples. We didn't have the examples back in those days like that. We didn't really have too many examples. You know? We didn't have that many examples to be like, oh, son is acting like son. You know? Look, Dawood lived in the graveyard. Brother Dawood lived in the graveyard, bro. He was just on it like that. Him and his wife Cookie, they lived in the graveyard. That's how dark he was. That he was on his Darth Vader shit for real. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he stood on that shit. I didn't see niggas say, I'm gonna go in the graveyard with you. He wasn't out there recruiting niggas to come live in the graveyard. You know? But that's where he was coming out of. He was like, nigga, I'm in the graveyard. I'm like, damn. Damn. You really about that life. You know what I'm talking about? You standing on, I mean, you fucking standing on business. Yeah, he was the Sith Lord. You know what I'm talking about? He was the Sith Lord, you know? And he talked about that, and he spoke about how he was going to do it. And he did it, So I say all of that to say that when we bring up the names of some of the greats and some of the quote unquote legends and the master teachers, whether they died rich or broke, that is none of my business. I ain't here counting no pocket watching. I'm not JT, niggas. You know what I'm talking about? It's not on me. You know what I mean? I just got to make sure that me and mines don't go, you know what I mean? That me and mines is good to the last day. But their reputation, their bodies of work, their reputations while they were here, right? The things that they stood on while they were here, the fact that they took their reputation very seriously, and you didn't hear, you might have heard a little bit of scandals here and there, but nothing like the shit that you hear daily coming out of some of these accounts. So I honor the fact that they stood not only tall in their scholarship, but they stood tall in their name, image, and likeness and whatnot. And then fast forward, you see what it looks like when somebody takes this thing for a joke and they don't stand on their quote unquote image, and they don't stand on their reputation, and they're not standing on their motherfucking scholarship, and their scholarship got flaws in it. And the scholarship got flaws, and you become the butt of people's jokes. You become salacious news and whatnot, and people don't speak about you in reverence. So it'd be like, yo, you put in all of that work just to become the butt of people's jokes. It just don't make no sense. It's crazy to me. I could go on for days about this, but I won't. I will not. I'm not, because this is a rabbit hole. I'm an hour in on this shit already. Shout out to the master teachers. Shout out to the young masters that are coming up. Shout out to everybody that is the master students, right? Who are weighing out the you're weighing it out. You're like, shit, I don't know if I want to throw my hat in the ring, because I promise you, for some people, you really have to, like, you got to weigh it out. You got to weigh it out, because once you step in the ring, once you step on the stage, think about it. You can't literally just, all right, I'm done, yeah. I'm going back to being a human again. I'm going back to being a citizen. I'm going to go back to general population. And it's like, I've really never seen that even happen before. I don't know how that even looks, because think about it. You go missing, motherfuckers. Yo, wait, I seen that nigga working at Lowe's. What? Like, who, you know what I mean? Like, once you in it, you kind of like in it forever. So you got to make that decision. You may fare better just being in the audience sometimes. This is not cut for everybody. This is not cut for everybody, because you got to have certain things in order before you get on that stage, as we can see. And I'm not lecturing anybody, and I'm not trying to act like I got all my shit together, and I'm not trying to speak to anyone like I'm talking down. But as we can see, the underlying, right? What is what in all of these cases that we could point out where men fell, where the teachers fell, right? Because you don't even see the women falling like this. The women teachers are not falling, but for the men who fell, there is a factor in all of these cases, right? There's a throughway through all of these cases, and it's the phallus and the lack of control, right? It is the quote unquote persecuted. It's these men are not dealing with their lower selves, and they are being conquered by their lower selves. Think about that. Think about that. You know, they're falling on their sword. Literally. Yeah, think about that. These men are falling, right? Because they cannot subdue their passions. And one of the main tenets of secret societies, right? One of the main tenets of a master school, right, is that you put what? That's why you have to subdue, you have to master your quote unquote lower selves. You have to kill the four devils, right? Even all the way back to when Elijah bumped heads with Malcolm, right? And Malcolm brought him down and he put a stain on him forever. What did that have to do with? That had to do with him not being able to control his lower self. Okay? We see this pattern keep repeating itself. It continues to surface. There's something going on that people have not necessarily addressed, and it's dealing with lust, it's dealing with uncontrolled sexual traumas, it's dealing with hurt people hurting people, and it is a profound situation that we keep seeing. Look at Africa Bambata, right? All of these giants are falling on their swords. All of these giants, nigga, it's not male fraud, nigga, it's not lying. It's none of these things that are bringing them down. They're all falling down for the same thing. You could you could throw the name out there. It's the same fucking case repeating itself. So what's that about? So when I get up here and I'm like, yo, brothers, we gotta work on ourselves. We can't be out here splashing everything. We can't be out here undisciplined. You feel me? We can't be out here thinking that we can't be calling ourselves gods, and we can't be out here with this delusion of grandeur, and we not dealing with our demons. So I'm like, yo, let's heal. Let's do the ayah. Let's do the boomies. Let's do all of it. Let's do the aboga. Let's do whatever we gotta do to help heal us. You feel me? Because if the greats, if people at people at such heights are falling off mountaintops, what the fuck? What kind of hope do a nigga climbing the mountain have? What kind of hope does somebody at the bottom of the mountain have? What are you telling us? And I'm not trying to be preachy. I don't got it all together. I'm not a fucking monk, my niggas. I'm not a ninja. You know what I'm talking about? Men struggle with this shit daily, you know? But because shadow work is not necessarily a requirement, because they're not requiring people to be like, yo, if you ever, before you even get on the stage, you got to sit with the shamans. You got to, where's your rites of passage? You got to sit with the masters and whatnot. You got to go through some type of rites of passage before you get in front of the people to even prove that your ass is healed. You know? Because we don't have that. Because that's not a requirement. Because all the nigga need is Wi-Fi and an Instagram account and he could pop out. It's kind of crazy, you know? And then when it comes to the whizzes, you know, even though they're not, you know, they still got they shit that they dealing with. It's a lot of quote unquote it's you know, all of that girl on girl stuff, the predatory. I'm talking more so the predatory girl on girl things, you know, and more so like the clandestine, the hidden type shit, like all of that, you know, all of that. Young women coming up in this bitch getting preyed upon, you know what I'm saying, by unsuspecting yoga teachers. And it's just kind of, you know, listen, if you got a chance to watch the documentary, go and check it out. so you could see the signs. I would say to go and look at that just to refreshing yourself about the signs of these cults and these cult like people. Um, and in this new internet age of cult of personality worship, where Sister Myra said on 363 Empire that the original sin or the greatest sin that you could commit in the spiritual realm is the abuse of your powers. You know, is the abuse of your powers. And the absolute power corrupts absolutely. Henceforth, why I said a minute ago, you gotta literally sit back and like you have to figure out if you really want this. Real talk. Because with it comes wild responsibilities. You really gotta know if you want this or not. Because this shit comes with a lot of responsibilities, yo. And the power that you could pick up by doing this, if you have not trained yourself, if you have not prepared yourself, if you haven't been in power before this, if you haven't tasted power, if you haven't experienced power, if you have not stood in the light before, and your ass get thrusted into the light, and you getting fame, and you getting all of this internet fame, and people know your name, and all of this, it could drive a nigga crazy. That's why they had A&Rs, artist management. That's why people have managers and whatnot. That's why you literally had to get. I was watching Sean. Sean had a interview, which on Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder's podcast, which surprisingly, them niggas like the Odd Couple. Surprisingly, I like that podcast. I mean, the new rapper waves of podcasts is interesting, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I got to give them some more airtime to see how they really giving it up. But he was talking about how unpolished and Flatbush. I mean, Sean is from my hood. Sean is from Flatbush. We came up together. You know, Sean was a wild boy when he got on. He was just, Sean was he was a typical Flatbush stick up kid. You know what I mean? Like he was rough around the edges. So he was explaining that he had to get right. It took him like 2 years at Bad Boy to basically get into artist mode, right? Because he came in there super rough around the edges and he needed management. So he said that when he really, really figured out that he really wanted this, like when he was like, I want this shit bad, he basically was flanking P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. So P. Diddy allowed him to shadow him for about a whole year, follow him, literally follow and learning from him. And sometimes and that's what's missing, right? That way of developing people, they don't have that no more. People want to get on immediately. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the shadow work. They don't want to do the A&R. They don't want to do the artist development. Your ass on the stage and you talking to thousands of people, you're an artist. No? Yeah. Yeah, you just happen to teach, but you're an artist. The teachers are artists. They're like celebrities and shit. So nobody is there to teach you anything. They not giving you no etiquette. They're not teaching you how to move around the wizards and whatnot. It wasn't a good example. Henceforth, he got 10 years. He was shadowing Puff and got fucking 10 years. That was not a good example of somebody to follow and whatnot. But even on the show, he said, regardless of his BS and regardless of his negative traits, there was so many positive traits about learning how to be a mogul and learning how to be one of the best to do it in that industry at that time, that he was able to learn from P. Diddy while being around him. He was like, man, you know, having dinner with these top tier celebrities, taking jets and planes and all of that, you know, that got him into artist mode. That got him into, he said he wanted to be a mega star. He wanted to be a superstar. So that kind of got him into that mode and whatnot. You know what I mean? That got him into that mind state. So I get it. I get it. You know, I definitely can see it. But we need some type of artist management. We need like a talent agency for some of these young brothers that are coming up, so we could protect the brothers and the sisters, so they can have what is called longevity. I hate seeing people come in this bitch and go. You know how many people I've seen burn out in this 20 years that I've been hanging out in this thing? You know how many people I've seen burnt out, burn out, crash out, spin off the road and whatnot. You know what I mean? You know how many car crashes I've witnessed? And some of those could have been avoided if our people had some type of, we need therapy. You know what I'm talking about? You ever been in an internet war? All of them dudes that was out there debating and whatnot, they needed therapy. Imagine getting smashed in a debate, your face get cracked in a debate in front of millions of people. Your whole entire everything just gets washed up. Look at what Seti did to Aline. Not to take anything away from Dr. Aline, but nigga, that was that was like a nigga. I had to go on vacation after that. My whiz brought me with her tax money to Miami, my nigga. Cause I was nigga, cause I was in the I was in the room, I was in close proximity. You know what I'm talking about? The blood splashed on me. You know what I mean? I had to go lay in the ocean. Them days was ruthless. The dust has settled and whatnot. It ain't as ruthless as it was in like 2010 and 11 and 12. Who remember when Seti was gonna fight Polite in a debate? You know what I'm saying? My mom's was there. You know, my mom's was there, and my baby mom's was there. The mother of my daughter. I had to put them under the table. It was about to pop. You know what I'm saying? It was about to pop in a room full of hundreds of people, bro. That it was about to literally go off. You know what I mean? It was about to pop. And I know that they had blickies in that building, but it was about to go down. So I'm like, when you going through stuff like that, where's the therapy at? Polite went dark after that. That was when he went from Hey Rue to Set. And that defeat right there changed everything for him. Real talk. He went dark after that. He went on Darth Vader mode. That's when he was like, oh, his it was that mentality like, oh, niggas is laughing at me. Okay. Oh, y'all gonna laugh at me? Okay. Yeah, all right, I got you. I was in the room. I was at the house when Seti and Zion was about to go at it. You see me in the video. I was right there. Another one. You know what I mean? And another one that it was about to go down in there. I'm talking about pop the fuck off. And they was literally just chilling a few minutes before that. So I'm like, this is trauma. This is trauma. You know? This shit was getting traumatic. So it's like, I never really got the therapy that I needed just from seeing niggas die in front of me. You know? Just from seeing niggas get bodied in front of me, I didn't get no therapy. Then you got all of the secret wars that went on, the secret beefs, niggas sneak dissing and all of that stuff. We need massages. Niggas need their feet rubbed, bro. Like, this is not, this can destroy your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? I stayed out of the way. But they was throwing spears and nunchucks and all type of shit. Like, we had to dodge. Me and Blue had to do the Neo, nigga. We was dodging all type of shots. But I could imagine for the people that was in the fire We wasn't in the fire. But for the people that were standing in the fire, what's up with their brains? What's up with their spirit? What's up with their minds? What's up with their souls and whatnot? Because this shit, remember the Matrix, where they said to if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. Well, what the hell you think YouTube was back then? What do you think YouTube was? That was the Matrix. You imagine having 40,000 people in a Coliseum watch you get your head torn off. Dudes was coming up in that shit. You know, I'm carrying the entire Hebrew Israelites on my back. I'm carrying the entire Christianity Bible thumpers on my back. I'm carrying all of Islam on my back. I'm getting on the stage and then I'm going up against a dude who's trying to tear my head off. He's going to talk crazy about my God. He's going to talk crazy about my religion. He's going to talk crazy about my master teacher. He's going to talk crazy about everything. And Lord forbid that he has some type of motherfucking ammo, some hidden shit that he's going to hit me with. Yeah. That turned people dark. They was crushing spirits and souls on them stages. That wasn't no regular, degular. That wasn't a lecture. That was war. You know what I'm talking about? That was war. They weaponized consciousness. You could weaponize information. That is very true because information is like a weapon in and of itself. The information is weaponized. And when it got weaponized, it was crushing a lot of things, almost like how when a nuclear bomb goes off, it wasn't a hypersonic missile. They wasn't going directly at their targets. They was blowing a whole room up. You know? So some people still need help. Some people still need help because they went very dark after that. And you know, they didn't get the help, they didn't get the hugs, they got laughed at, they got ridiculed, you know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff was going down. You know, a war of ideologies. But theoretically speaking, what is war? War is war, the initial component of war is a war of ideology, ideas, and concepts. That's where it starts at. And then it trickles all the way down and where punches get thrown, missiles get thrown and whatnot. But it starts out with ideologies. That's why America could go after Iran, because they've literally they've basically created this distance between Iran forever. Since I was a baby, they've been going against them with the fact that our ideologies clash with theirs. I don't even know what their ideology is, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't even know what it is. I just know that they was like, America's the great Satan, you know what I mean? And they was always banging on the Babylon, and the Babylon didn't like that. You know? Yeah. They look, there's good, there's good that comes out of bad, and there's bad that comes out of good. The good part about the debates, let me clean this up so nobody thinks that I'm just completely hating on it, right? The debates had a monumental, profound impact on expediting Black Christians, Black religious people, and melanated people who needed to get smacked up out of their stupor. That's what it was good for. It smacked niggas out of their stupor. You couldn't be standing on what you were standing on after you saw your favorite guy get bodied and whatnot. Niggas was switching up like the Met Gala. You know what I'm talking about? They was switching up. They was switching up clothes. Oh, nah, let me get up out of this garment. I ain't rocking with that. You know what I'm talking about? Who remember Ray Hagan and Wesley Muhammad? Who remember Wesley Muhammad versus Natural Tahuti? Who remember Tahuti versus Ali Muhammad? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's that? We need a documentary on the debates. Just the debates. It deserves its own documentary. Facts. You know what I'm talking about? Facts. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know? The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know? Because those are some classics. I'm just giving you the psychiatry, I'm giving you the psychological effects, the back pay of it, the backstage of it all. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the psychological effects that people may not realize was going on in the post debate world, in post debate, what it was doing to egos, because everybody got one. Everybody got an ego. And if you crush somebody's ego in the public, if you quote unquote step on somebody's ego, if you give them an ego death in front of thousands of people, and the person is not necessarily if they're a sore loser, if they don't necessarily take defeat with a smile, oh yeah, it could wreck them. It could destroy their subconscious. It could turn them very dark. It could turn them very vengeful. They're not going to take revenge on a person that killed them. They're more so going to take revenge on everybody else. You said shouldn't dog be free by now? I mean, if yeah, God should get on his side. I do think that he was trying to get a reversal or some type of an appeal, but Tahuti got 40 years. Okay, Tahuti got 40. You know, so I don't know about that, but yeah, I do want him to get out of that. You know what I mean? Because he don't deserve that. So I think that was the first domino to fall. If you really want to be honest, he was the first domino because nobody prior to that was going down like it was falling like that. You know? Yeah, in front of their followers. In front of their followers. You know? They was hating on the young Pharaoh. I remember that. They wanted him to be tamed. You know? They wanted him to be tamed. They wanted to put a leash on him because they basically was like he's like a China in the bull shop. So they saw that YN energy and they wanted to tame it, but you can't tame the YN energy. So he's basically, to be honest with you, he would be the poster child for the YN energy. He would be the poster child for the YN energy. Very powerful. If y'all saw early videos, I was the OG. I was standing next to him. I was holding him up. I was hailing him up. You feel me? I was bigging him up. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, yo, this is the truth. This is the future, the young God. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get behind him. And other people saw it differently. They wanted to, you know what I mean? They wanted to go after him. They wanted to tame him. They wanted to break him. Yeah, they wanted to dim his light. You know what I'm talking about? They definitely wanted to dim his light. And to be honest with you, it was weird energy to me. Yeah, shout out to young Marcus. Young Marcus was also on to come up around that time. It was very weird energy where you have these old heads want to pile up on the young gods whenever they see young people come into the community with a certain type of energy that was kind of free. You know what I mean? That you know what I mean? But then him and others, the way where I see that the slip up happened is when they start talking about the OGs, when they start talking about the master teachers, and they was talking down on them. Can't do that. Can't talk down on them. You know what I'm saying? Can't talk down on. Who is the Glass Joe of debates? I would say Imam Bashir. They was moving Imam. They remember my guy. That's my guy too. But they was definitely moving him around like he was a punching bag. Yeah, when he dissed Bobby, and then when Nature Boy dissed Sabi, you see the pattern, right? So it's like you can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, they will warn you. Like it was a warning. It was like it was already known. But I guess for the young people coming in, they wasn't really known. It wasn't known like that. Like it wasn't known to say, yo, you can't talk against the not that you can't tell nobody what they can't do, but it was like if you do it, just understand what comes with that. You feel me? If you do that, you got to know that it comes with something. Yeah, they dissed Noble Drew Ali, but where are they? You know, the people that diss these master teachers, it's milk boxes. You know what I'm talking about? Belt, yeah, spiritual belt to ass. Cause yeah, Nature Boy got life. Yeah, he got a life. He got life with no parole. You know? Yeah, they gave him life with no parole. That's what I'm saying. They out here handing out bullets, footballs. You know, that's ancestral if you ask me. You know, that's ancestral if you ask me. So, once again, that's why there was a protocol. And this protocol, in my humble opinion, and that protocol was kind of like adhered to for damn near 100 of years, like 100 years, from 1920 to like 2020. The protocol was that you see how Elijah brought Malcolm in, you see how they brought Khaled in, you see how they brought Farrakhan in. They didn't just come out of nowhere and they were standing on their own and they was like, it's just me. There was a chain of command, right? There's always a chain of command. Somebody puts you on, but then that person that puts you on got an answer for you, right? So with the younger generation, nobody put them on. They put themselves on. So they don't got an answer to nobody. They're not attached to no lineage. You feel me? So they don't have no fathers, figures. These are fatherless teachers. When you come in and you say the name of your man, yo, who your man, that's almost like in the gangs, you gotta come in, you got a father. You gotta, who the fuck brought you in? In the army, who brought you in? In corporate America, who brought you in? Somebody had to hire you. You didn't hire yourself. So there was a protocol that was being followed, and that protocol, albeit it wasn't perfect and whatnot, it maintains some sort of it maintains some sort of reverence for the ones who come before you, because it's an understanding that you're never going to be better than those who came before you. And if you are better than those that came before you, oh boy, if you could walk in those shoes and make a new pair of shoes, then you are considered to be a master. Think about it. Not too many people have done that. There's nobody walking, in my humble opinion, this filled Dr. Sabi's shoes and made their own pair of shoes. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see somebody bigger than Elijah right now. I don't see a bigger Noble Drew Ali that has more, that created a whole organization that's putting out cutting edge literature, that's prophetic and whatnot, raising up people. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, the big homie would get DP'd if the little homie gets caught out of pocket. Exactly. So if the little homie get out of pocket, then you're gonna get dealt with. The OG, you get dealt with, and then they're gonna deal with the quote unquote, then they'll deal with the person is violating. But if you brought that person in, you got to answer for that person. Remember Goodfellas, you know? Remember when Joe Pesci crossed the made man? What happened to him? He didn't have his button. He wasn't a made man. And he violated. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a lot of people coming up, but coming up don't mean shit. I seen mad niggas coming up. What the fuck is coming up? You know how many niggas was coming up forever? You know what I mean? Like, you got to put the Sabi accolades on the table. I need to, nigga, what? That coming up ain't enough. You know, that coming up ain't enough. The way that there's ways that Sabi moved, there's things that he did, there's things that, you know what I mean? Like, no. Sabi was running with Elijah Muhammad, bro. He was in a nation. He has a story. Unfortunately, Nick Cannon won't let the story be told, but he has a story. His story don't start with doing herbs. He got a story. These niggas don't got no stories. These niggas don't even have stories. Yeah, Sabi was with Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Magic Johnson. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Niggas on the internet? No, that's not it. That's not it. Don't get caught up in the hypes. That's not it. To heal diseases, Sabi and Mama Pill and they cured the diseases. So to come around and say I'm curing a disease, you're not saying much. The diseases already got cured. That's like if somebody comes and solves the equation of Einstein, and then another person comes behind and say, I solved the equation. It already got solved. You're carrying on the tradition. What are you doing new? The fuck? The Sabi celebrity roster is unfuckwittable. If you're gonna say you're gonna carve your own pair of shoes, don't pop up with DC Young Fly in motherfucking you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we need celebrities. We need hitters. Who's gonna cure Jaguar right? You know what I mean? We need real cutting edge, like no. And there's a lot of people who like some of these teachers that have been promising things to the community, and you know, all of these type of things. It's like, nah, y'all missing you're messing your legacy up horribly. Did Dr. Sabi's Wiz teach him the game? Emphatically no. The Mexicans taught him the game. You know, Sabi talks Spanish. He's a Latin American. He was a Latin American. He spoke Spanish fluently. You know what I'm talking about? He spoke Spanish fluently. So he would go up in Latin America, and then if you see Sabi in Africa, all of the Africans think that he's African because he had the phenotype. You know what I'm saying? He had the phenotype. So everywhere that he went, he was lit. He was a merchant seaman. He already traveled the whole entire world before he even picked up one herb. He was in the Nation of Islam. No, matter of fact, it wasn't. He was rolling with Red, Detroit Red. He was rolling with Malcolm. Read his book. He got a book out. Mr. G wrote it. He used to roll with Malcolm, and they would smoke dope together. Like, what are we talking about? So for somebody to get on the internet and talk crazy about the homie and try to dismiss him, you seen what happened to Nature Boy the minute he said some crazy shit about Sabi, it was over. It was downward dog from there. He was on his downward dog from that point on. And don't nobody got to do nothing. At that point, if that person is an ancestor, or if that master teacher put in wild work like Bobby Hemmett and they're just chilling right now, and you throw dirt on their name and you have the audacity to put their name in your mouth and you talk crazy, come on, man. I mean, you could have, everybody that's in this bitch, y'all been in it long enough to see that there's obviously some type of spiritual force that is correcting certain things inside of is governed. This whole entire arena is governed by some type of unforeseen force that corrects motherfuckers that are incorrect. You know what I'm saying? It might not get everybody at the same time, but there's some type of spiritual force. There's something watching this shit that will move chess pieces around and checkmate the pieces that need to be checkmate. I've literally bear witness to it. You can't get away with much. You cannot get away with much if you're on these stages and you're professing to be who you are. And if you're not doing that, if you're not living that, you're not going to get away with it. You will be corrected. So sometimes I just be shaking my head when I see certain people just pop out and say crazy shit because they're in the moment and whatnot. They just be feeling themselves. I mean, look, you got thousands of people watching you. It's very easy to just start feeling yourself and go crazy and say crazy shit. You know what I mean? Especially when your shirt is off and you giving it up for the aunties and ever. You putting on for the aunties? You know what I'm talking about? You putting on for the aunties? You on your Boston Richie? Sending out pics, you know what I mean? Sending out you know what I'm saying? You out there mailing out all of these pics to these single mamas, these aunties and shit. Yeah, you be feeling yourself too. You know what I'm talking about? The Boston Richie ass nigga. Come on now, with the shirt off. Huh? I show speed ass niggas doing the backflips and all of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be, you feeling yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Baby, can you help me? Can you help me? Niggas out here begging for a pegging. Baby, can you help me? Niggas in your inbox like, baby, can you help me? Send me that CMOS. Can you help me? So yeah, shirtless consciousness. We gotta study that shit, man. A nigga pop out with the shirt off. I'm gonna start. I hit this clock on their ass. I hit the stopwatch. All right, let's get a countdown going. We gotta watch this little nigga because I've seen this before. Respectfully, no, you know what I'm saying? I've seen this before. This is something that I've seen before. The fuck? But yeah, let's get into this. We got some videos to play. God damn, we might not even get through this shit tonight.
We gotta get old people out of the government. We need age limit, term limits immediately. Look at her head. It's bobbling like a bobblehead, shaking, back and forth. Because she got fucking early shit on.
So what about term limits and consciousness? Should it be term limits and consciousness? You know what I'm talking about? I think so. But I think that we don't pack up our elders. We should not be disrespectful and say, yo, you got to pack it up. We should have a severance package. You know what I'm talking about? We should have a 401k you know what I mean, for the elders, and be like, look, you know what I'm saying? We got this. We gonna put you, we'll send you to Jamaica or Virgin Islands, and you know.
When did we get into this Mephistophelian timeline, son? We gotta get old people out of the government. We need age limit, term limits immediately. Look at her head. It's bobbling like a bobblehead, shaking, back and forth. Cause she got fucking early center on Parkinson's. She's old as fuck. And what is she doing? Announcing that she's running. Let me open this box of shoes while I shake like a motherfucking stripper vibrating and let you know that I need to be a senator. You could slip and fall and turn into fucking dust. Like, look at Mitch McConnell's son. He was born in the 40s. Somebody play my saxophones, man. Cause he ain't moving, grooving, vibing, sliding. You know what he about to do? Slipping, falling, tripping. Yeah. What? Gripping. Pause. About to die. Margin of error. You guessed it. Death. You're old as fuck. This man is a decision maker. He's allowed to make a vote. He can't even fucking walk. Hell is hot and I hope you dress cold, Mitch. The bitch. No, I'm not done. I'm a hater, not a liar. I'm about to point out a very glaring problem we have here. Charles Grassley, 1933. You understand? World War II? Son seen that. He can remember that. He was a teenager. He probably was almost drafted. Looking at his name up on the board. Like, oh shit. Thank God I dodged that one. For reference here, because this is a very important year, the Civil Rights Act didn't pass until 1964. It means people like Charles and Hal here, who was born in 1937, went to completely segregated schools and most likely were fucking racist. And I can't even blame them niggas. If I was Hal or Charles, I probably would have been racist too. Just so you know, I'm not discriminating. This is a black woman. I don't give a fuck. That says 1937. You got to go. I mean, can you log into Twitter? Do you know how to post on Instagram? What are you doing with AI? Our current president, just like the last one, born in the fucking 40s. You understand that? He was 18 when the Civil Rights Act passed. And do you think Donald Trump was happy about that? Do you think he was like, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Good for black people. I cannot wait to share the restaurant and the water fountains and the bathrooms and the clubs and the airways.
Yo, the boomers is on some Spirit Airlines shit. They do not want to land a motherfucking plane. Shout out to my dad. He just like, god damn, he just retired and shit. He was like 77. Like, he literally just retired last year. I was like, my nigga, what the fuck took you so long? You was teaching before we was born, fam. Like, you was a teacher. You was teaching. You met my mom's in college teaching her. Like, you was teaching before we was born, fam. What do we? I mean, I respect the. You know what I'm saying? I guess he's a worker. You know, he's a worker. But then he was telling me stories about young niggas coming in, and he's like, yeah, because he do African studies and whatnot. He's like, yeah, you know, they got this young nigga came in and took all of my students and what. I'm like, nigga, what do you think's gonna happen, Dad? Come on, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you still got it, but you know what I mean? Cool. Let's go. Let's go to Miami or something. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, fam. Let's raise the grandchildren. God damn, like, we can't do it. Yeah. They be fighting it. The boomers be fighting it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They be fighting it. They want to ride this bitch to the very end.
In that basket too. 1940. Bitch, go home. Like, worry about death. You think that I think you're worried about 20 years in the future? You're not gonna be here. Just like all the other motherfuckers I just talked about. As always, my negativity has led to positivity, like hater enlightenment. This is the date right here. 1964. If you older than this, you're cut. Sorry, buddy. You're too old. We cannot trust your judgment.
We have some big news right now, Big news right now, Spirit Airlines in court documents today made clear that the reason it had to shut down and shutter its doors is because of recent geopolitical events contradicting the Trump White House, which put the blame on President Biden. NBC News reviewed the new court documents put forth by Spirit in the bankruptcy case, and Spirit said that due to the geopolitical events, aka the war in Iran and the rise in fuel costs, it had to shut its doors down. Now, an interesting part of these court documents is that Spirit also noted that it knew that by Thursday it would have no viable path forward to stay open. And yet it didn't inform travelers until Saturday when it abruptly closed down at 3 a.m., leaving thousands of people stranded and thousands of people without a job. What is clear, though, is that Spirit couldn't continue because it became too expensive because of the war in Iran. Spread the word, follow along for more. Big update regarding the cruise ship with the hantavirus update in the Atlantic Ocean. This morning, according to NBC News, it has been denied.
This shit is crazy. The motherfucking rats on the cruise ship out here catching bodies, and they won't even let them dock the ship, bro. So you got Spirit Airlines going out. You got Delta talking about they about to switch up. You got JetBlue talking about they about to go bankrupt. Frontier being quiet, but I'm like, nigga, say something. Then you got the cruise liner. Then you got the airplane hit the goddamn bakery truck. It hit the FedEx truck landing and whatnot. This nigga, how you gonna hit a truck? Then you got the cruise ship, and everybody on board is the rats. What? This is crazy. I'm staying home. This is crazy.
Denied, refused permission to dock. There are 149 people currently on board the cruise ship. 2 of them are seriously ill with the deadly virus. The virus has already killed 3 people, sickened 3 more, and 1 patient is currently hospitalized in critical condition, according to the World Health Organization. The ship tried to dock at the port in Cape Verde, which rejected it as a precautionary method. And now the cruise operator is saying that the ship may actually sail to the Canary Islands instead to dock. It remains to be seen whether it actually happens. Now, there are 6 cases of hantavirus. 1 is confirmed, 5 are suspected. The one that's suspected is a British national currently in Johannesburg, according to NBC News. The World Health Organization is stressing there is no need to be alarmed, that there's no real threat to the general public, and that the wider public, any threat remains low. I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word, follow for more.
They wildin'. Look. Look at this shit with the truck.
Another White House shooting. Not in your wildest imagination would you be able to guess what's about to happen to this man right here. He moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, regular day at work, until it's not. March for air, you guessed it. Death. That's not no car accident, though. Well, kind of. It's a plane accident. United Airlines flight that was landing clipped son on the way in. Now, there were no deaths. I don't know. I do not know how. But I know one thing. That shit gonna be called United with Lawrence Airlines. Fuck, you just hit my car? Imagine trying to explain to your job, yo, I'm not gonna be able to make it in or make no deliveries today because I just got hit by a fucking plane. I'm like, huh? Now, I'm telling you, a plane. And what are the chances? I don't know. I'm driving down the highway. Next thing you know, it come perpendicular out the cut like Neosporin. Clock my shit. Oh, hell no. Oh, my days. I mean, literally, what are the fucking chances? And nobody dies? And United Airlines is like, no worries. We landed safely. Oh, no, y'all be worried. My lawyer called it expeditiously. Fuck is going on? Y'all niggas don't know how to land or something? That's a highway. You didn't know how to clear that? You hit me with the fucking wheel. If anybody's seen them airplane wheels, them shits is big, son. That's not no little airplane wheel. And what's crazy, it's almost like you could see when son started to hear the plane. It's like he heard the saxophones. Where he's like, oh, wait a second, wait, that sound close. Hold on, what the fuck? What is fucking plane come inside? It's like, what? How's it? I've never seen nothing like this before, and I'll probably never see nothing like this again. And he lived. I'm just saying, this never happened on no Spirit flight. You feel me? I'm not choosing sides, but it's like, yo, United, you clipping, son? Like, what's going on? Spirit would never do that. I'm just saying. Now, I'm also wondering, like, is this considered a random act of black danger? But it's like, he's just going to work. Like, this is not his fault. This is an actual random act of danger that he didn't choose. Like, he didn't do this by his free will. This is not for the love of the game. This is just by happenstance that next thing you know, a fucking United Airlines flight. But low key, you ain't die. So it's like a blessing in disguise where immediately I'm walking in like, yo, I need millions, baby. I'm fucking up. You know what? Nobody dies. So this story is nothing but good vibes. Fuck it. Run the outro.
adventure-ridden story of Lil Donnie admitting he lost a bunch of weapons and blowing a classified operation up. One thing about Donnie is he will shoot his fat mouth off and fuck everyone all at once in one fell swoop. Back in December, Donnie decided to funnel weapons into Iran in order to cause as much chaos as possible during the Iranian protests. This scheme was run through Kurdish rebels in Iraq that would then transfer the weapons to Kurdish rebels in Iran. Apparently, these weapons didn't arrive. The specifics are still unknown, but this was a deeply classified operation that used carefully cultivated sources and relationships that likely took decades to mature. This is the sort of high-stakes, ultra-secret nonsense that the CIA gets up to all the time, and secrecy is key to keeping people alive and keeping relationships working. So Donnie, being a fucking moron, went on to the White House lawn and just told reporters about the whole fucking thing. He gave the time frame, the route, and who was involved. In a moment of childlike tantrum, he angrily blustered his way to destroying an entire network. People will likely die. Tens of millions in investment, and a network that took years to build is gone. And U.S. intelligence assets and intermediaries are exposed because Donnie was angry. This is why the military doesn't trust the president. The man who is supposed to be in control is being kept in the dark because he cannot keep his mouth shut, because he has fucking dementia and just says whatever, whenever, with no filter. Operational security and American lives be damned.
So Iran just sent 14 points proposal to the United States through Pakistan. The main point is simple. Iran does not want another temporary ceasefire. It wants to end the war. The United States reportedly pushed a 2-month ceasefire. Iran said no, it wants everything solved within 30 days. That including guarantee against future attacks, U.S. forces withdraw from the sea around Iran and end the naval blockade. Frozen Iran assets released and sanction removed, compensation paid. Peace on all fronts, including Lebanon, and a new mechanism for the Strait of Hormuz. I don't think America is going to agree on this. Trump already said the proposal is unacceptable. The imperialistic mindset does not accept terms like this. And Lebanon, what are we talking about? Israel wants Lebanon. Everybody knows it. That part alone is enough to kill the deal. But they still say they are talking, and that is the hypocrisy. Americans want diplomacy, but only if Iran gave up first. They want peace, but they keep military options on the table. They want open shipping, but they run a naval blockade like a bunch of pirates. And of course, ordinary people pay for all this. And now, there are rumors that Trump might visit China very soon. A U.S. Air Force C-17 reportedly landed in Beijing, and that kind of plane often carries security equipment, vehicles, and logistics before a major visit. So that could be the preparation for Trump. Why now? Because Trump needs a win. There are too many things happening at once right now. Inside the United States, inflation pressure is getting worse because of the oil price. Internationally, you have Iran, Lebanon, Israel, and the Ukraine war still drags on. So, if Trump goes to China, the talk will probably focus on the supply chain, rare earth minerals, tariffs, and the Taiwan Strait. But Trump does not just need a deal. He needs an image. He needs to go back to tell the Americans, I can still talk to China. I can still bring back some result. I'm still in control. And he wants a political repair. And China, of course, know how to handle this, right? They can give him the ceremony, the photo, the big meeting, the face, treat him good, let him go home and say he won. But real issue is not the camera shot. The real issue is the supply chain, tariff, rare earth minerals, oil price, and who is actually paying the cost, right? I always talk about this on my Substack and with more detailed talks, right? And you can join my newsletter there, link in bio. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. I really do. Thank you guys. You guys really keep going. I appreciate that. Take care.
Okay, don't worry about it. No filter, but at least you know that the bitch's mug is still in down. Face card don't decline. Bitch, you Iran just struck the shit out of the UAE. Swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God. Like I said, I was being nosy. I was in the mean streets. I was watching. I'm checking it out. I'm watching what's going down. I'm like, what the fuck going on? Everybody scrambling around. This can't be about Benjamin Netanyahu's corruption trial and his testimony once again being pushed back. Okay? It can't be about the fact that Isaac Herzog decided not to move forward with the pardon and that he officially told Benjamin Netanyahu a pardon wasn't going to happen. It can't be about that because we knew that. I done already told y'all that, right? If it ain't a fuck yes, it's a hell motherfucking no, right? If it ain't a hell yes, it's a fuck no, right? It can't be about that. Bitch, Iran fired missiles at a U.S. warship in the Strait of Hormuz. They also fired missiles. I mean, they in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz just fuck. Big Draco out this bitch. You understand what I'm saying? South Korea started it. South Korea in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz. They tiptoe through your shit hole, bitch. I'm tiptoeing and ended up getting blackout. Iran, the IRGC. Rah, 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 rah. I thought that they had clearance. Turns out they didn't. Iran said, stop fucking with me, bitch. Big Draco is what they call me. Not the little one, because, bitch, I don't miss. And they did not miss is what is going on. I'm looking at it right now. You hear that? Frying American soldiers' asses like that, bitch. Like some catfish on a Friday night, bitch. They frying them the fuck up. It's bad, bitch. It's real bad down here, sister. Also, there's another video. Iran leaked the first footage that shows 2 Iranian missiles hitting multiple U.S. ships or frigates near Jax Island. And then I click on Twitter or X. I click on there. The first thing I see pop up, missiles flying over the UAE. They done fucked up another UAE site. The Iranian IRGC Navy hit 2 separate naval ships in the Strait of Hormuz. They also hit a South Korean ship. They also sent missiles directly over to the UAE, and they're bombing the shit out of the UAE right now. They have officially closed the Strait of Hormuz to all vessels and told y'all ain't got to go to fuck home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, okay? The shit's about to go down. Y'all done woke up Big Draco. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all won't get enough of fucking with Iran. And I should have known something was up when the president of Spain made an emergency landing in Turkey, in Ankara, and they ain't said shit since. He ain't said shit since. So I think Israel may have been trying to get their lick back. Spain demanded the immediate release of the Spanish Palestinian activist that was abducted on the previous flotilla, where he is said to be being in Israeli custody and being tortured as he's in Israeli custody. Now, this is word that came from the previous flotilla members that I chose not to speak of because it genuinely causes me angina every time I watch them go in and get captured. I'm not willing to explain that to nobody. That I am an empath, that shit hurts me so bad because I know what's going to happen to them. And to hear what they wanted to do to little Greta Thunberg, that was the end for me. I had to wrap that shit up. After that, I was like, you know what? I can't get to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, these are innocent people that are trying to help innocent people. And we see what they're doing to them. I can't get to them. So it's causing me pain in my chest. It's causing me some stress up in my chest. I can't watch what's going on, but I can report that Spain is doing everything they can to get their citizen back. In the midst of them trying to go over to speak about it, or at the very least get him, you know what I mean, like released. Israel was up to some fuck shit. They ended up having to bust a UE real quick and stop in Turkey and land in Turkey and find another way home because Israel was on some bullshit. And Erdogan was like, listen, you may want to land that motherfucker because that bitch is up to some shit again. Okay? All right. So, yeah, it's some shit jumping off right now and it's real bad, sister. I don't know. The UAE has not responded since then because it literally just happened. But Iran is set to test out something big, like some brand new missiles that they have not used yet by tonight, which explains why they closed the Strait of Hormuz. Because again, just yesterday, Israel was testing out, or American Israel were testing out these 5 Boeing planes that were set to basically refuel the fighter jets that they're going to be using to re-attack and reignite some kind of situation with Iran. And just today, Benjamin Netanyahu's testimony that he was supposed to be doing in his bribery case got pushed back again. So we know from historical data that whenever that happens, there's usually going to be some kind of major event that they're attempting to do, and it's usually going to be either against Lebanon or Iran. As of right now, Israel has made it clear that their number one target in southern Lebanon is Hezbollah, so they're attacking areas where they feel like Hezbollah is at. Hezbollah is not in those places. I'm not even sure where they got that intel from, but it's giving very much, you just need an excuse to kill as many Lebanese citizens as possible. And bitch, we don't believe it. And I can't wait till they stick their foot up your ass. But in the meantime, in between time, NATO is quite literally falling apart. Israel's about to get her shit rocked again. Big Draco back outside in the middle of her moves, and they not playing with them. Stay tuned, because there's a lot more to go, bitch. This shit is getting messier by the minute. Oh my God, it's so bad, for real.
Shooting. Oh my God, we live in such a violent, terrible country. Everything is so scary. Do not let this false flag get your attention. I need everyone to stop what they're doing and go search his name on Twitter and see if you run into the same exact problem that I just did. Elias Rodriguez. And for whatever reason, nothing will load. Try again. Now, if you type in any other name, it will pop up. And even if you type in Elias by itself or Rodriguez by itself, it will pop up. But when you type the name together, for whatever reason, it's memory banked. And I think they're doing that on purpose, especially Elon Dweeb Musk in specific, because Elias Rodriguez just so happened to have a trial tomorrow that everyone should be talking about, because he was the guy that supposedly pulled out the cut like Neosporin and shot 2 Israeli diplomats in the middle of DC last year. But for whatever reason, when I searched up his name, you would think this is a name you guys wanted to brag, shine, show in front of everybody, like we gonna show what we gonna do to people that are anti-Semitic. He yelled, "Free Palestine." And yet, I have to do scrolling when I type in shooter, and I can't find his picture. This is Elias. Now, I remember. I'm a hater, not a liar. I never forget. You understand? Now, you're supposed to go on trial tomorrow for killing 2 Israeli people. I'm very interested to see what happens, because to me, I'm not going to say what you look like, but I mean, you look like a Zionist. These are the 2 people that were just so happened about to get married and then also make a move over to Israel that were shots. And they had a funeral concession for her, and then they did his funeral concession over there in Israel. So, I'm just wondering, where's Elias Rodriguez, and why can I not search his name up? And it's gonna be funny, because I know people in the comments are gonna try to do it, and they're not gonna be able to see it either, because I just be knowing. No, I'm really not that interested in the White House shooting, because supposedly you guys approached some guy, that he started running, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, shot back, and then you shot him. And then a juvenile got hit in the crossfire, but they gonna be okay. And the shooter, who knows, they could be dead. Guess what? Margin for error, you guessed it. Death. I do not give a fuck. What I do give a fuck about is that trial that's supposed to start tomorrow. I'll be wrong, I'll just be early. And I remember I said it was a false flag way back in the day. People were like, how you gonna call it a false flag? Because I'm like, wait, why have we not seen no video footage of this? And he just so happened to say Free Palestine. I mean, that's convenient. It's like, hold on, throw the fucking flag, review the play. Come on, let's use our brains right here. You feel me? No, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And even if I'm wrong, I still could be right. So like, it's like when I'm wrong, I still could have been right. Feel me? If you know, you know. Elite move.
Computer broke physics. Google's quantum computer broke physics. China's is allegedly faster than light, but here's what nobody's telling you. You are the original technology, and you're being replaced in your own image. Trump's tech chief said we can now manipulate time and space. That's not conspiracy. That's quantum. Let's break it down. No fluff, no parallel realities. Every time you make a choice, a new timeline branches off. Not metaphorically, literally. Quantum superposition means you're alive in multiple realities right now. Your frequency determines which one you're tuned to. The higher your coherence, the more you collapse timelines. Translation: the more aligned your nervous system is with your scroll, the faster reality bends to your will.
Remember the last show that we did, and y'all might not have seen that show because this channel was on a hiatus. Know the Legend 444, but on Third Eye Thursdays we brought two goddesses through, Sister Ayana and Sister Ariel. And Sister Ariel was speaking about the nervous system, how it is very important that we align our nervous system, right? And certain ceremonies that they're going to participate in with the purpose of aligning the nervous system, okay? Because nervous system realignment is very, very important for many of us, especially those of us who are, basically in this matrix and want to break out of it. You know what I'm saying? You have to get your nervous system in alignment. But let her continue.
Google's Sycamore reached quantum supremacy. China's Zhuzhonghang beat them in speed, but speed isn't the point. Both systems still need cooling control and a lab. You're self-aware tech. You were built to override timelines without a machine. And every upgrade you've ever needed was emotional, not mechanical. AI is mimicking you. Quantum computing is just trying to replicate what you already do through embodiment. They are simulating alignment while you're still sitting in self-doubt. If you're watching this and you feel the pull, you're the original timeline operator. You don't need a computer to bend reality. You just need to remember who the you are and who the machine was modeled after. Common quantum if you're done being a battery and ready to flip the grid.
She done switched it up. Common quantum, nigga. What we talking about, Brosy? Common quantum. Yo, back to that case with J. Cole. Let's go to this real quick, and we're gonna go to J. Cole.
I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. Who's the them? Oh, good question. It's the minority who wants to keep the minority rule of our original Constitution. When someone looks at you and says, I'm a constitutional originalist, raise an eyebrow, ask a question, keep pressing them until they tell you why. Because our Constitution is based in minority fucking rule. There's a reason why we needed the Voting Rights Act. There's a reason why we needed the 19th Amendment and the 15th and the 14th and the 13th, and it's because our Constitution is cracked to its core. It never lived up to the ideals of all men being created equal, because it couldn't, because it wasn't designed to. It's not designed to then, it's not designed to now. It's been over 200 years, and yet we still have fealty to this document that is literally based in exclusion and minority fucking rule. And every single regulatory commission and agency that we get is just a Band-Aid on a broken fucking Constitution, and they can take that away at any single point in time, and we will bleed out. The NLRB, the FDA, EPA, OSHA, anything you can possibly think of that protects the citizens and gives them a better life, whether that is through workers' rights or food safety or environmental safety or worker safety, they can take it away from us. They can take it away from us. And you might be saying, Amy, there's no way that this group of judges on the Supreme Court can possibly rip our country apart so much. Sure can. And you know what's going to happen? Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito are going to fucking retire. And they're starting to talk about constitutional conventions, and so am I. And I think you should be too. I think we all should be. And if you're saying, we can't do it because we don't have it, we don't have the numbers, then fucking rally the troops, babe. There are more of us than there are of them. A goal by 2030 to control 38 state houses, state legislatures. Oh, but Amy, that's what they want. They want it because it is the strongest tool in their toolbox. It will change the face of our country for decades and generations to come. Don't we want that too? Don't we want to not have to fight for another Voting Rights Act? Don't we not have to fight for this repealing of the 19th Amendment movement that is becoming stronger and stronger by the day? No, I want a constitution that enshrines voting rights for everyone, human rights for everyone, due process for everyone. I want felons to be able to vote, because when we strip away voting rights from a group of people like convicted felons, that means they can do it to us too. And they're going to. They're desperate for free labor. Sam Altman said he wants to rent intelligence out. There are more of us than them.
Is going to make hundreds of billions over the next 20 years. Black families are on track to see 38 cents on the dollar. Give me 30 seconds. This one is diabolical. Here is what just happened. The Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies released a report this morning. They asked one question: who is the AI economy even being built for? And who is being left out? The report found 4 gaps that explain it. A knowledge gap. AI is being taught to engineers, not to us. An infrastructure gap. We do not have the computing power AI runs on. A capital gap. Black founders get less than 1% of all the money funding new companies right now. A representation gap. We are not in the room when the rules are being written. If you multiply those 4 gaps over 20 years, diabolical. The very first thing that you need to do is stop being a customer. Start being a builder. Stop using AI to do your job and start using AI to build a job. Vibe code, ship a product, build a tool, sell a service. The skill is free. The pivot is on you. The second, black money goes to black builders. Buy from them, hire them, fund them, teach them, pull one with you. Every dollar we spend with a non-black AI company funds the gap. Every dollar we spend with a black builder closes it. Comment the word voice if you're ready and done playing around and want to build with AI. Go and ask yourself one question. When my kids ask me what I did when AI was being built, what is your answer going to be?
So I guess I'll use this opportunity for my shameless plug. Yeah, she's on point. It's time to build. It's definitely time to build. Next Tuesday. No, not next Tuesday. The last Tuesday in May. All right. The last Tuesday in May, we are going to be holding Techno Bowl IRL at Spin City headquarters, ladies and gentlemen. Spin City headquarters. All right. Techno Bowl IRL. The last one was a movie. How many of y'all in the building was in the Zoom when we did the Techno Bowl last Tuesday? It was fire. All right. We had Dr. Vicky. We also had a few other new people that we introduced. Okay. I believe the young brother's name is Aton. I'm gonna double check that. But it was a fire live. And at the end of the month, we're going to be teaching y'all digital cloning and advertising. This is going to be in Atlanta. It's going to be live. If you're not tapped in, you can see the live stream. Okay. We got a lot of events this month. All right. Then we also have coming up, we will be in Houston for June the 5th and the 7th. Houston, we have a solution. All right. Houston, we have a solution. The 72 clause is coming to Houston. All right. And we are in the building. We will be in the building. We have our good brother Pop Darby, Mansa Muhammad, Talik Heru, and Spin City for this one. If y'all know about legendary, and I'm talking about this one is going to be huge. This one is going to be huge. Yes, I'll put a calendar out. I just don't have everybody's emails in order to reach y'all with the calendar. I will have no problem sending you a calendar, but I don't have everybody's email the way that it is on YouTube. They don't allow us to scrape your emails. I wish I could. If I could, I would. And also another event. Damn, we got so many of them. But like I said, we are active. We working. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't sitting around wasting time. We are active. So our next event is going to be in Miami, and I'm going to put that flyer up in 1 second. Let me just go ahead and pull it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, before I even do that, let me show you what we got coming up this month for my Patreons. And let me show you what we got coming up also on Memorial Day. This is going to be a lecture right here. Fear of a Black or More Messiah. The campaign has begun. The campaign has begun. All right. So we are going to be in the building breaking down our favorite topic, and that is the fear of a Black or More Messiah. So much going on right now. So much to talk about. Lord have mercy. Give me the strength. Give me the timing. Like I said, we outside. Shout out to my Patreons. This one is for y'all. You know what I'm talking about? This one is definitely for y'all. The campaign has begun. Okay. The campaign has begun. And yeah, it's time to work. Damn, where's this other flyer? I don't know if I have a special guest for this. I'm gonna sit down and meditate on it, because I literally have so much to talk about that I don't even know if we even need a special guest. You feel me? I don't even know if we need a special guest, because it's a lot to cover. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be there for 8 hours, because it is a lot to cover. Okay. So let me just get you this flyer, and then we will continue. Shout out to the Houston. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to San Antonio. Shout out to Austin. You know what I mean? Everywhere where they're doing black tech and whatnot. You don't need me to tell you how important this is, because I promise you, they are preparing to leave our people in the dust. And the arrogance, like, we got to look at this thing with a more, I would say, solution-based mind. Like, I'm not just trying to say, oh, forget about it, we'll be all right. And, I think that that's true. We always going to be all right. I don't think that we are in no type of danger. I'm not one of those people that are trying to rebel rouse. But what about the people? What about giving some type of credit to melanin people who are technological efficient, who do want to create solutions and whatnot? Are they going to be supported? Or is Jeff Bezos the only one going to get your support? Is Elon Musk, are they going to make Elon Musk richer by throwing money at him and ignoring people who look like us, who are literally putting on for us, building things, creating solutions, making shit happen? Yeah. I feel that we owe it to our people to, find out what they're doing and then support what they're doing, because they're doing it for you. So let's get back into this information. I'll get that flyer up in a minute. The other one, the one for Miami. Okay. We were having an event on Memorial Weekend for the clause, but this whole thing with the airlines has shifted prices dramatically. And I also spoke to somebody from Miami who lives in Miami, and they kind of gave me the heads up, and they said that coming to Miami during Memorial Weekend is not the best thing that they recommend, because the prices are going crazy. So I'm thinking about the people and whatnot. They said that they're going to rip you off. The prices are going to go crazy. The traffic is crazy. And the way that them white people, the popo, is out there moving and whatnot, moving and grooving, sliding and vibing, you don't want to be around that. So I say, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. We're going to push it 1 week later when the prices are cool. You know what I'm talking about? Because I don't want nobody having to catch a too expensive of a flight. And if you're going to have to wind up getting a room or something, but we're working on trying to get one of those big Airbnbs where everybody could just, be in maybe like one of those big mansions and whatnot. So everybody could just be under one roof. There'll be some catering, there'll be some food, things like that. So I'm just being mindful of that. And we're not going to jump around on a holiday weekend in Miami. We're going to do it the last weekend of May. And then we'll be doing Memorial Weekend. We'll be doing this lecture. This is going to be, I believe, internet only. Unless, of course, we switch it up and do something in Atlanta. But it will be for my Patreons because they get a lecture every month. Okay. We that's a part of our deal. And we'll also be opening it up to the public so they could participate in the lecture if they so please to. On the roster for the Miami lecture. Now I'll just wait till the flyer goes up. Okay. I'll wait for it to go up. Let us go. We only have a few more stories left. Okay, back to J. Cole.
So let me get this straight. They finally have the HD footage of the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. So you mean to tell me this man walks past security into this room, right? And this ain't no regular officer. This is a K9 unit. The dog is literally trying to go in there and he pulls the dog back. He stands by the door for 15 seconds watching him. And you mean to tell me that officer didn't see the gun at all? Because there's no possible way in history where that nigga could walk in there, the officer stare at him for only God knows for how long. And as soon as you turn your back, this nigga runs a 4-4 down the hallway with the biggest gun I've ever seen in my life. The only explanation is that this nigga had a GTA loadout. Because no, legit, this nigga pulled one of these. It's either that or some fizzy shit is going on. Because there's no way you can stare at a nigga for 15, 20 seconds, dog acting crazy, and you can't tell he has a fat ass shotgun longer than your fucking leg. Then after the situation, not even after, during the situation, the entire MAGA brigade in unison, we need a ballroom, gang. Fuck out of here.
The shit that they be having our people fall for is diabolical. The shit that they be having our people falling for is effing diabolical. I tell you, man. I tell you. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Bitch, when was y'all gonna tell me America?
All right,
Bitch,
come on,
when
Chocolate.
was y'all gonna tell me America and Germany was beefing? Like, when were y'all gonna tell me that? Don't worry about my hair, we was exercising. When was y'all gonna tell me that America and Germany, don't worry about the background, y'all know I'm trying to still get unpacked. When was y'all going to tell me that Germany and America was beefing? So last week we talked about how the German chancellor basically just went nuclear public and stated that they bent the knee. I told y'all Germany and the German chancellor bent the fucking knee. They ended up just, paying Iran's $2 million fee in order for them to get the ships in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. And remember, Iran been moving that dope. They've been moving that weight, that crude oil, that they've been moving that shit like it's nobody's business. America thought that they was doing some shit trying to block Iran from getting through the Strait of Hormuz, but I'm here to let you know they ain't block a motherfucking thing, bitch. Iran just had another ship that completely evaded America's quote-unquote blockade, and they went through the Strait of Hormuz completely untouched. But I had no idea of the beef that was going on behind the scenes between America and Germany. So let's get started and let's get into it. First and foremost, y'all gotta be careful with me because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm in the kitchen cooking red beans, rice, fried chicken, and smoked turkey legs and smoked turkey neck bones, okay? Your baby gotta stay in the gym. I ain't missing no meals. Let's go ahead and get a little deeper into it because, girl, a lot of shit is crazy. Okay, first things first, of course, I woke up this morning and I'm looking through the geopolitics and the kikis I gotta fix my hair so I can look presentable. I'm looking through the geopolitics and the kikis, whatever the case may be, or whatever, as I'm, taking out the meat out of the freezer and shit like that. And of course, Israel's still doing the same bullshit. They up to the same shit. They still bombing the shit out of Lebanon. So make sure you keep our Lebanese cousins in y'all prayers, okay? Because the Iranians, they doing real good right now, but our Lebanese they need our prayers, they need our strength, they need our love, they need a good laugh, okay? So I know shit is hard right now for all of us, but let's make sure we keep them in our doors and make sure we make strong doors for the Lebanese, because I bang with them. I love the Lebanese cousins, okay? Believe that shit. But Hezbollah been holding it the fuck down, and like I said yesterday, they not being honest. They not being honest at all. America or Israel, they're not being honest about the way that Hezbollah is outside frying, dying, and laying their souls to the motherfucking side between two slices of white bread, okay? So, as you can see, in the places that they're bombing, look at the background of Lebanon. Lebanon will live to fight another day. Understand me? Lebanon is going to make it to the other side of this. I am certain of that. They're going to live to fight another day. That don't mean that we stop making dua for them. What that means is that you continue to instill hope in them. You continue to pour love, light, hope. You know what I mean? And you make dua for them, okay? Now let's get down to the real nitty gritty. In case you did not know, the way Iran fucked up their air bases in the entire Middle East, turns out that I wasn't being dramatic and I wasn't being theatrical, that I was accurate. No, I was the only one giving it the passion that it deserved. I was giving it the theatrics, the real show that it deserved, because the work that Iran was putting down was that it was that crazy work. It was filthy work. And the crazy part is that they wasn't really giving much effort. It was whooping y'all asses, frying the fuck out of you motherfuckers like y'all belonged on a plate and to be sold on Fridays. You understand what I'm saying? They was whooping America's ass. When Iran said, all I see is targets, they meant that shit. The United States is lying once again. They got caught lying about the military bases that are located in the Middle East and the damage that is amongst them. Now, how does this relate to how America and Germany is beefing? Don't worry, bitch, because I'm about to connect the dots for you, because this shit is skinnerless. It's tea. It's nasty. Okay, so boom. Like we just talked about, Germany ended up bending the knee to Iran. And they basically was like, look, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, Lady Liberty. You left us in the fucking dirt. You told us to figure it the fuck out on our own. So I did. I figured it the fuck out. I decided, for the betterhood of me and Volkswagen, we're going to bend the knee. We're gonna pay the $2 million. What's wrong? You ain't got the $2 million? And America was like, you grimy, dirty bitch. Why would you do that shit? Because remember, they all supposed to be a part of the G unit, the G7 unit, right? So U.S. is now pissed to the point where they like, all right, well, all you motherfuckers getting sanctions, it's y'all playing on my top, because they never gave play with me like that. So it looks really badly if Lady Liberty homegirls is now fucking with the enemy. They now coercing with the enemy. So the U.S. threatened sanctions on firms. The only firms that's making it in and out of the Strait of Hormuz and are paying the transit fees, Germany is included. Japan paid the fee. I was like, Japan? Wait, South Korea? Damn! All your homegirls is now over there skipping with Iran because Iran the one got the money. That's crazy. Not only that, the United States, they've been threatening to sanction everybody left them motherfucking right. So Handala, the hacker group, they ended up hacking into the United States shit and was like, oh, I'm gonna find out who the fuck that they so big that they can keep sanctioning us left and right. And bitch, all I can say is Robert Malley, R-O-B-E-R-T, B-E-R-T, Malley, M-A-L-L-E-Y, child, Robert Malley, Iran told me to tell you, Ricky, when I catch you, because, bitch, you're the reason why America feels so confidently sanctioning us. Robert, when I catch you, fucking Ricky, know that I'm on your motherfucking body, bitch. That's what Iran said. They told me to tell you because they know that I got a big-ass mouth. Let's keep going. Okay, so boom, America and Germany, they get on a phone call and they get to rapping and scrapping. They get to share a couple words, throwing a little bit of shade back and forth. The relationship between America and Germany has always been that way. They've always been kind of like Giselle and what's her name, Giselle the Grand Dame. Like, they like each other, but not really. Like, they like being enemies of each other, if that makes sense. Like, the iron sharpens iron. Does that make sense? Okay, boom. So the beef has been strong ever since the whole Hitler situation, the Holocaust situation. They ain't been cool ever since. Believe that shit when I tell you. They have not been cool. They've been frenemies. So they on the phone, they going back and forth. They both mad as shit because Germany like, bitch, you the one that convinced us to go up against a big poop with the loot, knowing that we was unequipped and that you said that you was going to help us. And America was like, I did, bitch. I sent you over all them soldiers. I gave you all the interceptor missiles. I gave you everything. And your goofy ass going to decide you want to go to Iran and bend a motherfucking knee. You got me out here looking embarrassing. Like, you really got me out here looking stupid. And the German chancellor told Donnie that I don't think you needed any help looking any stupider than you already look, because you be in the middle of me and shitting on yourself. And that's not a good look, Bookie. So America was like, all right, that's a bet. All right, so since you bitches think you want to play with me like that, how about since you bitches think you want to fucking play with me? You want to play with me? And they snatched their 5,000 soldiers back. Pause. I didn't even know that America had 5,000 soldiers inside of Germany. But the story is, long story short, those 5,000 soldiers are supposed to be helping out, fighting against the war that the EU has against Russia. Russia been whooping on all of their asses so bad that they are basically all out of everything. So we're paying attention to the Middle East, watching what's going on here, not even realizing that Russia really taking on the entire EU by their motherfucking self, bitch, and holding it down. You understand what I'm saying? The EU is basically fighting Russia through Ukraine. Does that make sense? They fighting Russia through Ukraine. They all got stake in this shit. It's the same exact playbook as in the Middle West Asia. Same exact playbook as West Asia, okay? They all got sending money, funds. They all trying to clear Russia out. They trying to topple over Russia, do a regime change. But the worst part about it is that Big Poop with the Loop was already prepared for that shit. They also was trying to do the exact same playbook using the Philippines, Taiwan, and South Korea to do that to China. But again, Big Poop with the Loop in China, oh, they ain't that bitch to fuck with. Iran really ain't that bitch to fuck with either. But they, in their minds, assumed that this shit was finna be a fucking breeze. So America feels some type of way about the way that Germany showed up with the whole situation in West Asia. And America said, since you think this shit is sweet, how about this? Now, bitch, snatched all their troops back. Because they were sharing words, and Germany was like, that's why Iran got you out here looking goofy as shit. They humiliated you in front of the whole world with your dumb ass. And America was like, oh, I'm a dummy? Oh, okay. Snatched all their soldiers back, and they was like, good luck, bitch. Good luck. Good, no. I don't want to hear what the fuck you talking about, ho. Good motherfucking luck without my help. Bitch, I was gonna give you to the end of 2027. But now since you wanna play in my motherfucking face, we gonna see who really need the motherfucking luck. I don't know, Germany. Maybe you should have just kept your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the sake of Volkswagen, maybe you should have just kept your mouth shut. Like, we love the team. We love that y'all giving Real Housewives energy. We love it. We love it. Num. Delicioso. But, girl, you just fucked up your whole shit because you just had to get your 1-2s. You just had to get the last word. You just had to get that last little lick in. That's crazy. I mean, you're not wrong, Queen. You are not wrong. Iran did humiliate America. But here's the thing. America was helping you. And America was protecting you with those 5,000 troops. And now you got to rearrange. That 5,000 ain't no little number. Now you got to rearrange some things in the membrane so that you can make sure that Germany stays protected. Because you know just well as I know that Big Poop with the Loot, he is not letting that shit go. Okay? He's going to finish fucking up Ukraine. When he's done, Germany, Poland, Belgium, you're the first bitches on the list. You got to know that. You got to know that, baby. You got to know he coming through. You got to know that. You have to. There's no other way that you could. The only person that's safe, the only country that's safe in this whole ordeal is Spain. Because Spain ain't take no sides. Spain ain't take no sides. And they was chilling. They was cooling the entire time. They was like, I told them motherfuckers to leave y'all alone. And we ain't want nothing to do with it. We was screaming. We was over here screaming, free Palestine, free Iran. Spain is the only country that's probably ain't gonna get the smackdown. But all you motherfuckers, y'all getting that smack dizzle. But stay tuned, because there's a lot more to go, girl. This shit gets messier about a minute.
Now, let's switch it up a little bit, right? Because, you know, people will always have something to say about my chocolate Godiva and the way that she talk and all, and it's all good. I expect that. You know what I mean? You know what it is. Um, I respect a woman with a good, you know what I'm saying, with some good vernacular. You know what I mean? I respect a woman that can read and whatnot. I that's why I'm pedestaling and I'm platforming, all of the people who are reporting the news and they're articulating it, speaking the language of the people and whatnot, because that's important, because there's a reading problem and there's a articulation problem that we're having in these schools and in America and whatnot, and it's real. Check this shit out.
She wore a suit, clothes that were. Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore. Bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a. Oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes.
Why do we let another people call our children learning disabled? Why have not we examined those definitions? To a very great extent, the destruction of our children is taking place because we have accepted without opposition or critical analysis the definition of other people of their behavior.
I think that's Dr.
People
Amos.
who have falsified our history do not know the
That's Dr. Amos Wilson talking. Remember, we were talking about Dr. Amos earlier. This is one of my early master teachers, y'all. Dr. Amos. You see how we talking? You hear the monotone?
psychology of our children nor us, but yet who are arrogant enough to feel that they can label our behavior and then impose programs on them. You must understand, you see, the labeling of behavior is not a mere designation of certain forms of behavior, but is a form of domination. So when you're permitted to label other people, you also are authorizing certain types.
Show the messages. Young man, are you dating this white woman?
No! I can't date men.
Are you dating both of them?
No. I do love black men though.
Oh,
wait, I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something.
Okay, clock that too. Clock that too. So what are you doing every day to dismantle systematic racism?
What am I doing?
Every day, since you like black men so
I'll
much.
be texting them, you know, like, you know, I'll be texting them. So they see, like, you know, people want them. Like, I'm showing the support. Yeah, I'll be giving them compliments. I mean, buying them shit.
There was a black.
Buying them shit too.
What you
clearly need some shit to buy.
What you bought? What did you? What's the last thing that you bought for a black man?
Food. No. Like we went to get food. Don't cancel me.
She tricks on her man.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not what I do actually.
Oh, okay.
Do you want some?
No, I don't. I'm a vegan. I don't want any of that food. Huh? Yes.
Okay, you just be setting me up, bro. You be setting me up.
They got our people in a headlock, you know. Let's look at this article. Who heard about the story about what happened in Colombia with the rabbi, right? Who heard about the story about Colombia with the rabbi? There was a rabbi out there messing around with little girls and got his ass chopped up. Now I'm telling you, and I've said it before, after that trip when I came back, I'm like, yo, y'all better watch out. That overseas shit, it ain't sweet. You know, the passport bros fucked it up. I don't know what they was over there doing, but they done messed shit up. And them people in Latin America, them places where y'all was going over there and prostituting they women, yeah, they lining everybody up. Dudes is getting lined the F up. They catching you with that flour. They could put your ass into a stupor and they doing you dirty. But now the New York Post and all of these people are trying to cover it up. So they are re-reporting the story about the rabbi. Check it out.
New York Post thought people wouldn't notice when they did this. Just a quick backstory, this New York rabbi went to Colombia to find a teenage wife, and that's after his first attempt failed. The New York Post, without having this initial information, first posted this. New York rabbi found dismembered, is stuffed in closet after being killed by Colombian gang. But here's how they changed the post after it was found that he was trying to marry a teenager. So now look at this same story about 3 to 4 days later. Again, from the New York Post, but this time, they say a New York dad found dismembered in Colombia and he was looking for a new bride after his marriage to a teenager failed. No mention of gangs, no mention of him being a rabbi anymore. Almost like the victimization disappeared after it was seen that he was victimizing teenagers in Latin America. Y'all pay attention.
Y'all pay attention. I'm seeing a lot of that, you know, but the New York Post has always been on the bullshit. I heard that Rudolph Giuliani was in intensive care last night. Man, I went and got a whole bunch of frontal leaf, just getting ready and whatnot. Now they said that they took his ass. He's talking again and whatnot. So, yeah, I put one in the air. Rudy is soon. Yeah, our date with Destiny with Rudy Giuliani is soon come. It's soon come. Udo. But here's a flyer right here. This is for our upcoming event that we have in Miami, the MIAO. This is going to be in the last weekend of May, okay? This is the last weekend of May, and we do have the quote-unquote boom. We have the QR code that you see right up there. That will get you tickets for the Claws event in Miami. This one is going to have our good brother Heru, Ofari Atta, and Original Black God is on the roster as well. We have more special guests that we will be announcing for this event. It is a 72-hour boot camp, okay? It might be in Fort Lauderdale. It says Miami, but it depends. We might even be in Fort Lauderdale, but we're going to have a great time in Miami. We're going to do Miami like ish. We're going to eat good. We're gonna, we're gonna get on the water and whatnot. We're gonna go to the beach. You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna get on our, we're gonna tap into nature, but we're also going heavy with the Claude, and that's with a D, the whole Claude ecosystem, Claude Co-work, Claude Code. We're gonna be working with Hermes Agent. We're gonna be working with OpenClaw. We are going to be tapping into some high-level technology. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be able to get your business together. You're going to be able to build out systems and whatnot, and you will be taught by professionals. So right here is El Claudel. We will be 72 Claws in Miami. Money is a major issue. And yes, that is coming up. Matter of fact, I think we might even have a small commercial that we're going to play for you. And then we are up out of here. We got to go back to the business. And we got things that we're doing. We got some things we need to take care of. So let's get you this video. And then we gotta dip. We gotta dip. Doom, 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 doom. Doom. Doom, doom, doom. Where is this video? Here we go.
Money is a major issue. Even Demetrius said, can't take it with you. Money is a major issue, even Demetrius said. Can't take it with 7-2 claws, we got 7-2 nobles who can make with you. Bread in the oven, we can bake it with you. Open AI made you open your eyes. Now to sunroof, open the skies. All white linen like the Pope in disguise. The motion is live, El Clado's moving on Ocean Drive. We riding horses, 400 Porsches, all black forces. We driving lamb chops from the sandbox of South Beach to the temples in Bangkok. Rubber bands pop, this is the boom bap that made the motherland rock. Claws, 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 claws,
Yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes indeed. Shout out to all of my people in Florida, the land of flowers. We will be in your city in the end of May. This May is going to be packed. This is called May Day, May Day, May Day, ladies and gentlemen. We are outside on the south side. You dig? So with that being said, we are out of here. Peace, love, and light. We will see you tomorrow, Techno Tuesdays. Like I said, me and Spence City, we have an event coming up at the end of May for Techno Tuesdays. It's called Techno Bowl. That right there is going to be legendary. We just had an event that was legendary, and this one will be no different. Techno Bowl, we're going to be giving you digital clones, and we're going to also teach you how to advertise, how to get your ads on TV, how to get your ads in front of everybody, how to utilize Manus AI so you can utilize the Meta ad system. Man, oh, effing man. All right. Peace, love, and light to the family. We will see you soon. Stay dangerous, y'all. Stay safe and